Check this out. Check this out. Check this out.
You don't stop.
Rap groups. Holy crap, are you okay?
What's wrong with you?
Hello, my Chino brothers.
I guess now I'm not allowed to pay for sex with pennies.
It's called Raiders Reef. Do you see it in the daylight? You're like, whoa, this is tore down.
This is Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite motherfucker, and I got a. Oh, I'm cursing a lot. We don't curse on.
What the hell you say?
You know what I mean? You can't.
You gotta have a combat radio job like Hot 98.3.
Is it cool for me to call you a Chang Chong Rice in motherfucker?
Shit and bring it. A picture.
Everyone,
you're not a lady?
Yes.
What are you?
I'm Lady Boy.
How much more is coming out from this dude's laptop?
Your loved ones. Don't miss the boat.
Don't miss the boat.
Oh, some great clips in there, man.
Was that good, dude?
Oh,
Dude.
dang. Yeah.
So here's what happened. Like last night at 1 a.m, I was like, oh, I got the illest idea. I'm going to produce a video that shows us and like our own personal social media and then like influences like how we started the Chino brothers and then show everybody's episode and clips of everybody's episode and then show their social media, show Paco's social media, show Mickey's social media, show Oscar's social media, and then all crescendo into the end of that, right?
Yeah.
Dude, nobody has videos on their social media. Like nobody,
I was like,
nobody
that's a lot of videos of me from last week.
nobody has videos on their social media. So like you see, the only thing I stole was Mickey's. Like if you see, you could see Rocket Wings, like that like decorated wall, and then where it goes Rocket Wings, like there's a clip of that in there, and then that was it. Like other than that, like nobody had anything. But yeah, man, I just thought this was a really good idea for an episode because you and I work for Paco as our program director, and then you and Micky work for Paco as your program director, and then Oscar worked for Paco as a salesman. So like I just thought it would like we all love, who doesn't love Paco? That's first,
Right.
But then next, like I just thought it would be really interesting to hear everybody's take on it. And then who doesn't like Oscar and Micky? Be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Like
True.
Oscar and Mickey, super fun. And then also I wanted to talk to Micky about how he's a diabolical genius. Remember we discovered that last week with Big Al from Big Al's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Remember we discovered that Micky
savant.
he's a diabolical genius, dude. He tries to fool everybody. But and, you know, with the Chavo del Ocho, bro, like that's like he tries to trick everybody with Chavo. Like he wants to look like Chavo, but he ain't Chavo. Don't let him fool you. He's a diabolical genius. We're gonna get to the bottom of that tonight, folks. What do you think of that, Adlai?
Dude, I'm excited for all this because these are some of the homies, and really we've known these guys, gosh, over 20, 25 years. So, you know, going back, I think I was texting Paco one day, just like, can you believe that you hired me in radio 20-something years ago? And it was just like, holy crap, dude. That's amazing.
And you're probably new phone, who this?
Yeah, he's on, do I know you, bro? Yeah, but no, it's crazy to think about that too. And then even Micky and Oscar I've known for years now at this point, almost 20 years, because even as you can see, my Play 103.9 representing back there, that was, man, started in 2003, 2004. So exciting stuff. A lot of great stories. And I'm ready to bring them on.
Oh, dude, I'm totally ready. Oh my gosh. I turned my mic up and it because I was like, my
there it goes. That went low.
Every time I touch this thing, because we have these touch screen mics and we both are AARP qualifiers. So Adlai don't Adlai doesn't touch Adlai doesn't touch his technology, but I'll touch my stuff and mess it all up. All right, let's bring these dudes on. Hold on.
Ready? Wait for it.
How come every week I forget that we do this, and then I'm like, bring him on. I'm like, oh, hold on. All right, go ahead, bring him on.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Who's got their mouth full?
Yeah. Who's got their mouth full? Okay.
Oscar's mugshot. Look at that, dude. Oscar with the mugshot.
That's scary.
Once again, Oscar doesn't want us to know where he's really at. Right now, he's hiding in some hotel in Tijuana.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no, look,
It's dark.
look,
He's in a car.
He's on the run as we speak.
He's on the run.
Paco, last time we had these two on, Micky just went relentlessly at Oscar for 20 minutes straight.
I heard it. Yeah.
All right, so I want to start off. This mic is killing me. I want to start off, Pac.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Bakersfield in the first place?
Of all the places in the world, dude.
Yeah, I want to hear this one.
Yeah, you know what? They were looking for a program director to program the Spanish station, the network of the Spanish stations, and also to open up the English station, Play 103.9. I've been programming for a long time, and I did the two genres of music in English and Spanish, and I interviewed for the gig, and Anthony Chavez brought me over. So that's how I got to Bakersfield.
Now, did you know anybody in the organization prior, or did anybody vouch for you?
I didn't know anybody in the organization, but I have friends in the industry that helped me get a foot in. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So you interviewed for the gig. At the time, were you still working at Tejano over in Tucson?
No, I was actually programming an AM station in Tucson with Armando Zamora. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which one was it? Was it Pantera?
No. It was an AM 1210. Man, I can't remember what the name of the station was, but it was AM and it was 1210, and they treated me good there. And yeah, it was good. I got a great opportunity to move to Bakersfield and program, a whole chain of Spanish stations and open up the English station. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of times we're afraid of the unknown, but you got to take that step and find out. And here I am, still 20 something years later.
No, I think that's cool,
That's
Pac.
amazing.
So,
amazing stuff.
Yeah. So you get over there, and as soon as you get there, and you meet the team, you meet Micky, and what I think is interesting now. Oh, you didn't meet Micky initially, Pac?
No, Micky came on probably about 3 to 6 months after I was there, because I was working on opening the station, putting music, making clocks, and doing all that. So while programming, the network of the Spanish station. So it was a lot. And so it took a little bit of time to get that Spanish station off the ground. And, slowly but surely we started hiring people. And I think Micky was one of the first ones. Yeah.
Now, at the time, Mick, you thought it was going to be a rock station, right? A Spanish rock station?
Correct. That's how a guy named Carlos hit me up and said, "Hey, I want you for this Spanish rock pop station." I said, "All right, cool. That's what I do." So they had brought me in, I think even before Paco, but I wasn't. They just said, "Hey, we're gonna call you when we're ready." I was all right. I even helped them get music and stuff, and then I didn't hear from them for a while, and then I got called in, I believe by they told me to come in that it was gonna change or something. And I didn't know. I was under the impression it was gonna be what they had told me, and next thing you know, I'm meeting Paco, and it was a complete hip hop, and I'm like, I don't know stuff about hip hop.
All right, so now, Pac, it was like, what were you planning on opening a Mexican rock station, or were you just tricking Micky the whole time? What's going on around here?
It's tricking Micky the whole time.
Yeah.
But we were gonna play hip hop, and and yeah, there was talks about adding the Mexican rock, the manac, caifanes, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But it just wasn't a fit. It just wasn't. It's not a fit. You know, it just isn't. Yeah, maybe Mickey, you or maybe I, you know, we listen to more of all the genres, you know, in Spanish and English, but not everybody, right? So we had to find what was the best fit, and we felt that, you know, the Spanish rap was a better fit where we can hit those second and third generation Latinos, instead of going the rock route. That's what happened.
I'm just thinking too, though, if you want Spanish rock from that, I mean, you have some research, like, because they just said, "Hey, here's the station, here's the signal. We have nothing on it right now, but we own it, and we want to do something different." Where did they come up with the Spanish rock?
You know, I don't know. I think that was Carlos's idea and someone else's idea. I don't remember who. But it just wasn't a fit. You know, I'm not saying that it wouldn't work. I'm saying that it wasn't a good fit for what we were trying to do and the demographic we were trying to hit.
That market's probably not at the time wasn't susceptible to that either. I think, I don't know, maybe.
No.
It would have been number one in Arvin.
You know what? I'll say this. One thing I'll say about Paco is Pac kind of doesn't want to mess around with the fringes. He wants to hit the bullseye. So if he's sure, if it's like, hey man, look, we're gonna play a Donnie and Marie record. Donnie and Marie, it's like, look at all these old white people right there. They want to hear Donnie Marie. I know you want to play DMX, but they want to hear Donnie Marie. I will give Pac that, dude. As a program director, he didn't like messing around. He liked hitting the bullseye and keeping it pushing.
You're right. I learned a lot from Paco. I'm very thankful to him. When I came in the first time I met him, I was scared because I mean he was just straightforward, no emotions. Just this is what I need.
Yeah, man, gangster.
Are you on or you off? And I was like, damn. And I was like, I'm not even a hip hop guy, but you know, I'm just gonna show up and do the best I can. And little by little, I really did everything he would tell me. Okay, that's what you want. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm a better person for it. So I really want to thank Paco even years later. Thanks, Pac. I learned a lot from you.
You're welcome, brother. That's my job, man. I love teaching, and you know, I love great students, and you were one of them. So thank you.
So getting back to the story. So now, Pac, you put the team together, like the entire team together from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, with help of you know, Caesar and Robert, and you know, we would talk and say, hey, listen, you know, I think this guy would be a good fit. What do you guys think? And we'd go from there. But yeah, I mean, it was all on my plate, and we'd go from there. You know, sometimes they would change my mind, and we said, okay, let's go ahead and try it and see how that fits. I'm not 100% convinced on it, but you know, hey, let's try it. You know. And
hey, what were Caesar's and Robert's roles when you started, Pac? What were the roles? Because I got there after, but when they started, I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, I mean, Caesar, I always saw him more as our operations manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it came to everything, you know, he was the right hand there of Anthony, and you know, Caesar's smart man.
Yeah,
and yeah, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and you know, at the end of the day, man, it was their station, right? It was their station, so they were great help. And Robert, well, you know, he came on board, and you know, I trained him, you know, and you know, what should we do here? What do you think about this? And let's do this, and you know, and we went from there, right? So you know, eventually Robert was going to take over the position, you know, and that's how it happened, and, you know, and. It's a great fit. I mean, they're good people. I have nothing bad to say about them. And
yeah, no, they're great. They're both
awesome.
Great,
yeah, they're awesome. So you know, yeah.
Pac, real quick, how long before you bring Adlai in?
Adlai probably came in maybe at the most 6 months in. You know, I needed somebody strong. I needed somebody I knew. I needed someone, you know, that I knew was going to put 100%, and they've worked with me. So it wasn't something new. I know I could throw him in there, and he already knew what I wanted. So so it made my job a lot easier.
I can tell. Hey, Mike, I can tell you this: the first thing I did was fire like 12 people.
No, that I was leading up to that. Ad.
What are you going to talk about that?
Yeah, why do you think I was like, did you build the whole team? Da 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 da. Because now here's the thing. Adlai has this famous story he loves telling. He just sold it right there, where you walked up to him, pat him on the shoulder, and said, "Hey, Adlai, I'm going with the brass for like 4 hours on this drive to whatever you were doing. You need when I get back, these however many people have to be fired." That's what he. Now here's my point, Paco. Is this? You said you built that whole team from the ground up. Why are you firing people already? Why are you making Adlai do this?
Because Oscar couldn't sell it.
No, you fired them before I got there, bro.
We had to make room for Oscar's commission. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like, he's making so much money. Shoot.
It's one of those things that what happens. Just from experience from the past and everything, you know the people that you need to fill those positions.
Yeah.
You can't have an on-air guy do promotions. You can't have an on-air guy hitting the streets. So you need a team for everything, right? So we put teams together, right? We had a strong street team, but at the end of the day, 3 months in, we just couldn't afford it. It was a brand new station, going over budget. So we had to trim the fat. I mean, it is what it is, at the end of the day, it's business, so, we need to make it a profitable station the best way we can with not spending so much money. So, hey, all right. So we don't have a street team now. We just have one person. All right. Well, I mean, we're going to have to step up. Mike, you and Adlai, no? I mean, shoot, we had to do everything, right? I mean, we were doing remotes, starting at 5 a.m. and not going home till 10 at night, and not getting paid for it,
Yeah.
So
and I even,
yeah.
I was gonna say, Paco, too, when we went to KOHT Hot 98.3 in Tucson, and me and Mike were there, and I remember we'd be like, oh, you got to do remote. All right, you go out, you don't have a promotions team at all. It was just the jocks going out there, and for people that don't know, there's this thing called the Marty. It's like a 30-foot antenna you got to crank up, and you got to set it up, and it's just you out there. And I remember people were rocking our jerseys, and in the back it's all Adlai Hot 98.3, and then I'm out there working, sweating, and they're like, you're the DJ, and I'm like, yeah. Why are you setting up? And it was kind of a weird feeling, but you did it. You sucked it up. You did it. But then when you go over to Clear Channel, Clear Channel at the time, it's now iHeart, and you're like, wait, you guys got a brand new vehicle. It's got 20-inch spinners. It's fancy. It's nice. Wait, I drive the SUV, and the promo team takes the van and sets up for you. And I made a little bit more money when I moved over from, KOHT. But the crazy part is, when I got hired at Play, my first remote was like, all right, who's my promo team? Where I'm meeting at? Like, no, here's the keys to the van. Here's setting up and everything. And I was like, I'm going back in time, But you did it, and it got done. But I really think that Campesina, a great organization, no question about it. But it was something, maybe it was something new for them. And one thing I think about, Paco, too, is that did they back you the way you wanted to be backed, if that makes sense? Or I almost feel like the hip hop English side was kind of the stepchild in the organization, because Campesina, obviously a monster in the Spanish side, billing like crazy, making plenty of money in huge markets like Phoenix and all these big places. Then you got Play 103.9, this little, pulling. I don't even know what the ratings were at the beginning, but a 1 share maybe.
Yeah. We had the backing of it. That wasn't an issue. At first we started spending a lot of money. We had a lot of staff, and we had to trim the fat. Something new, and you can't just open a station like that and think you're going to start making tons of money in 6 months. It's just not happening. When you got beasts on the other side that's hot, that's been here for forever. It's hard to go up against that. Now thinking back, I wouldn't have done the Spanish side. I would have definitely gone more old school hip hop, instead of that. It's something that Hot really doesn't touch, right? And the groove was more old school, but there was that gap that was 10, 15 years ago, the Biggies, the Tupacs and all that stuff that just wasn't played, that just was not played, and sprinkle in the new stuff. That's what we should have done,
And it's probably the market too, Pac. I mean, it's a smaller market, man. The money's not there like, Phoenix or even Tucson. So, I mean, everything's kind of watered down compared to like when I would go to remotes in LA, they had 2 vans and 5 people helping setting up tents.
Big inflatable.
Big.
Well, there's also not record sales anymore, Oscar. You know what I mean? Like when we were hot, there was no such thing as any form of streaming whatsoever. If you wanted this record, you're gonna have to get it from the Chino brothers. That was it. You ain't gonna get this tonight. If the Chino brothers don't like you, you ain't getting one of these 10.
Yeah.
Boom. Pac, this is something I want to ask you about, and Mick, and maybe you and Oscar can jump into. But what's the deal here? Because when me and Ad were young, and we weren't even that young, like we would sleep on the floor of the radio station.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We would like wash the van. Of course, we're gonna wash the van. You know what I mean? Like, and if you gave us $5 to take it to the spray and wash, we felt luxurious. And if you'd buy me a candy bar and a pop in the morning, a soda in the morning, big 60-ounce Mountain Dew and a one of them supersized candy bars every morning. And to me, that was luxurious. I felt like I was in show business. These young guys nowadays working for Adlai, they're all lazy. He tells me, what's going on around here?
I don't know, man. It's just the sense of entitlement of these young guns. That they should get everything that they want, and it just doesn't work that way. The older cats like us, we're a different breed. We were programmed to work and work hard, right, from our parents. We're programmed that way. We just work, right, and our sons and their sons, it's different, right? It's different. It's a sense of entitlement that they think they deserve everything, right, and they just think they could just hit it on cruise control and go. Right. But we weren't programmed that way. I was talking to my mom just the other day. I was like, Mom, this is the way you programmed us. This is just the way we are. We work hard. We'll get the most money we can, and we do what we can with it. Just move forward. Are you going to complain? Are you going to cry? No, you're going to wake up again the next morning at 4:00 and do the same thing over again. Right.
How is your mom doing, Pac?
My mom's doing great, man. She's hanging in there. She misses my pops, and we all do. But she's hanging in there. She's a strong woman, man. She's awesome. She's good.
She's still running the record store, or
no?
Yoli's?
No more, man. That was gone.
No more records. No more CDs.
Nobody buys them anymore.
Hey, Paco. Though I do want a couple things I want to say though too. Not all my part timers are lazy, but
I'm sorry.
We've had there's a couple that are really solid. So, but Paco, back then though, were there some lazy employees?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't like lazy employees. So, if I worked hard and you worked hard, everybody should work hard. How many times did I have to go in at Saturday or Sunday in the morning at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because the overnight guy didn't show up and I worked the whole shift? How many times did I take money out of my pocket to pay for food or do something or whatever? Should buy the another CD player because the boss didn't want to buy us another one, so I went and bought it, to put it in the studio.
Brought your own turntables.
Yeah, we had to get it done, right? So we had to get it done. So I mean, I'm not gonna. At the end of the day, it all falls on the program director, right? So why isn't it done? Well, we don't have a CD player. Well, what are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna go buy it then.
And right now, we'd like to thank Greg Lawley for all those things, everybody. So thank you very much, sir.
That was Joe Heck on our side.
Yeah.
Well, I think too. I think radio too is kind of like back in when I was listening to radio. Like, the jocks were celebrities, right? It was like it was like a big deal. Now I think little by little, as the mid, late early 2000s, you kind of started losing that value on celebrityness. Like it wasn't like a big deal no more. Then you started hiring just random people, I guess.
Yeah, Oscar, you bring up a good point. Something I was thinking about too. If you go back into the 90s, being on the radio, you could be a weekend jock doing and people would like, and Mike, you remember too, doing the mix show. People be hitting you up like, hey, come through our party at 3 a.m. We're gonna be hanging out, and it'd be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Now it's just the if you're 19, 20, 21, you're like, I see YouTubers that are way more famous now. Now, if Mr. B shows up to the mall, me and a million of my friends are going to show up. Now it's kind of like, Oscar, you talk about remotes. We remember it's kind of like it's not as big a deal as it used to be.
Oscar, who are you calling?
I'm gonna take this phone call real quick.
Oh, it's Mickey.
Oscar.
Oscar
Mickey.
Sure.
They're short on wings at Rockin' Wings.
Oh wow.
Gotta get an order.
Hey, Rockin' Wings, they're known for their chicken wings, but you gotta try the burgers, man. Woo.
Their burgers are fire.
Huh?
Really, dude, all the food there is phenomenal, man. Yeah, all the food is phenomenal.
Cold. Yeah.
That's where we got to do the Play 1039 reunion. Mike, you got to come out for that. We'll do it at Rockin' Wings and get everybody out there and stuff too.
Dude, the problem is everybody in Bakersfield wants to feed me. Everybody who's been on the show is like, you got to try my this or you got to try my that. And I'm like, I want to, but I'm not going to stay in Bakersfield for 6 months and eat everybody's food.
No, Oscar will take us to the little holes in the wall. And then we'll end up at Rockin' Wings, yeah.
Oh fuck, man! We've had the greatest time on this show. We've had the wildest guests. We had a DJ that got shot in the leg and he kept DJing after he got shot in the leg. We had a DJ that went to prison. He got the DJ in prison. We've had the wildest guys on. Tell them, Madley.
So many great stories too, and I think back to Play 1039 too. That's where it kind of started, and then. There's people that I still talk DJ wise that I still talk to this day, but then this show actually expanded the network of DJs that are out there. And dude, I swear every DJ that I've met has been like they have a great story. So it's just been amazing and stuff too, man. It's been amazing
stories that we've uncovered on the show. I wanted Mickey. I can't wait till Mickey comes back because I want to ask him what it was like to work for you, Pac, as a jock, being a rock guy, because like I liked rock music, but like I liked hip hop too. So I don't know. I don't know if that really counts. But yeah, so I can't wait till Mickey gets back to ask him about that.
It's a different breed of people. It is. It really is.
How big was Rockin' Espanol in Bakersfield though?
I don't think
I feel like Spanish. I go right to regional.
Yeah, in Tucson, it was big. It was huge. But in Bakersfield, I came in toward the ass end of the rock en español. So I never really heard it here in Bakersfield like I would hear it in Tucson, right? So and maybe just because I wasn't in the loop here in Bakersfield with that, but. I mean, you'd go to the clubs and you go here and there, and you didn't hear it, really.
Yeah, it wasn't that big. I don't even think it ever got that big, too.
In Tucson, it was pretty big. Like they'd have club nights built around it.
Yeah, but it's a different demographic in Bakersfield. I mean, you got a lot of farm workers. Even now, you got a lot of kids from high school that go and work in the fields. So they're jamming it different. Their lifestyle is different.
God bless them.
Yeah.
The last 5 minutes out there.
Yeah. Well, me either, dude.
Yeah.
No, me neither. Are you kidding me?
No question.
Yeah.
My dad did that work, Pac. My dad picked, and in the Central Valley, picked grapes with his buddy Don Ortiz. Back in the day, when he couldn't get a job because he was Japanese.
Yeah. No, it's hard. You drive by, and I mean they're there early in the morning. They're out there when it's 100 degrees, and and they get out and they still go to the club.
Yeah,
still go party till 3 a.m.
That's the nutty part.
Yep, and drink.
They drink hard too.
That was speaking of Campesina. Didn't they do that big event? Where was that out in Keene? 40 acres. What was that?
40 acres.
It's Delano.
So outside of Delano, and how many people would go to that thing, Paco?
Man, a lot, thousands.
It was a free show, and what were the groups that would perform there?
the biggest ever. I mean, Tigres del Norte, you know, geez.
Ramon Ayala. You had a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Big, huge groups. Tucanes de Tijuana. Yeah. A groups. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. How many kegs did you guys sell?
You know what? We wouldn't sell kegs. We would sell actually cans, and we sell a lot of beer. A lot.
It'd be amazing because you got to think if it's Los Tigres, that's a very expensive group, but it was covered basically through the beer sales.
Yeah. I mean, your hands would be numb because you'd be serving the beer. You wouldn't stop, and you'd have to put your hands in the ice water and take the beer out, man. It was hurting. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we did the Tigres del Norte one. That one sold a lot of beer.
Oh my God.
I remember that. That was huge.
Mickey, hey, me and you went to the War one too, right? That was a Campesina event too,
right? It? We were at the War one up in the mountains, and I remember that we had to present them, and it was cold as hell at night. I remember that.
It got cold.
The daytime it was warm, but at night I was like, "What the?" And we had to go out there and present them. There's a bunch of bikers. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, there were snakes out there, bro. That was crazy, dude. Well, wasn't that 40 acres?
The 40 acres, yeah.
It was 40 acres too? Okay.
Is that the one up in Keene, right?
No, the War was the one in Keene.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was up in the mountains.
Okay. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Campesina was a lot of fun. KBS and working at Play 103.9 too. This is another thing about radio. It was the last time frame of really fun radio.
Yeah. The last bastion. The wave was crashing. Like you know what I mean?
All automated, all pre-recorded. Yeah, it's all that, and it's just everything syndicated. But back then, it was still we had a live DJ on at all times. Maybe not overnights, but
I think we were the last era. We were giving away CDs, and people were still excited to get a CD.
That's right. A CD prize pack.
Towards the end, we would give them a free download that was barely coming out.
Yeah,
we give them a paper with like a little code on it, and they could download the song. That was new at the time, but we were the last little era of, okay, meet us over here. You can get these CDs, and then people would fly over there for the CDs. You know. If you do that now, nobody's gonna show up.
Would you do that cheap thing when they won that prize pack? Did you guys do that cheap thing where you'd give one album and 2 singles?
Of course,
yeah.
Of course,
we put a single there.
That is the Paco Jacobo way, dude. I remember when I first started working for Pac. He was like, "Hey, Sketch, do me a favor." I said, "Okay." He said, "Make me some CD packs that we can give away." So we would tape 3 CDs together. So okay, cool. So I'm taking CDs out, you know, doing. I'm setting them on his desk. And he picks them up. He looks, he goes, 3 albums? And I said, yeah, man. He goes, no, it's supposed to be an album and 2 singles. I thought you were a real Chinito. Come on, put the full album in 2 singles. That's what he told me.
You know what? The full album on top. The full album on top.
And the album on top.
You know which one was really good idea? And I think it came from Paco. I remember if you came and you got a bumper sticker, you came to the station and we put a bumper sticker. We were out there for like a couple hours, and literally it was the jocks out there.
The whole sticker stop.
I think we gave CDs or we gave him some prizes.
Yeah, we used to do that hot.
And I remember there was a line of cars, and we're out there, and it was hot. And we're out there putting the sticker out there on the bumper. And that we did that towards the beginning, like at the beginning, to get the station known.
Yeah, I remember that.
Throughout the
that
whole
was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and then people could actually see you for the first time, you know, what you actually look like. In my case, it was Halloween all day, but remember that?
Wait, you got to work on that delivery, Mickey.
Look at Oscar.
Mickey was Halloween. Hey, but no, for real, I do remember those sticker stops and people be lined up. But I do remember the old school cats and the lowriders be like, nah, you're not putting that sticker on my paint. Yeah, I'll put it on the window.
Do you remember when we did it in Tucson and that one guy, we put the sticker all over his car? Like he put like 7 stickers, Hot 98 3 stickers all over his car, like on the door, everything. And he just wanted a Britney Spears CD that we oddly had in our pile of giveaways. It was so do you remember that, Adlai?
Was it a nice car?
No, and like I think he was a little slow, you know what I mean? Like
okay.
And then I think it was, his mom was driving him, but she was like, "Yeah, go ahead." It was a dumpy car, but bro, we put stickers all over this person's car. I was
and like, you loved it.
Yeah.
I think we also did something like if we saw you out on the street with like a bumper sticker, we'd give you something.
Try to pull you over.
Yeah, we tried to pull you over in the van. Remember they pimped out the van? I don't remember whose idea it was that we had a regular van.
It was
Then all of a
nice.
sudden,
The sound
we did
system.
like a trade with somebody and they put rims on it and they put a sound system. Remember the back had a sound system.
It was good for about 2 weeks, then someone would steal it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paco, how many times did the play van get robbed? How many times?
A lot, man. I don't
It
even
was-
know. I don't even know. It's just so many. You just stop putting a good system in there. Wow.
Yeah.
That
Then the
play
trade
van
guys,
was sick,
we'd go to the
though.
it was nice. We'd go to the stereo shop. He'd be like, "Didn't we just have these same speakers in the van a week ago?" Oh no! Come on, more
you're
trade,
buying
more
your
trade,
speakers
more
back.
trade. so
Yeah, I would set that up. We would go trade it out, and then they'll get stolen, and then they'll bill us like another 10 grand worth of speakers and stuff.
I remember they just leave the plastic casing, which was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was like a fiberglass type of space
It was
age type of
custom.
casing. It was
Yeah.
custom, but they'd leave the shell.
We had the room to run as many spots as they would.
Yo, never made 1 penny on it on those deals, dude. You know?
Hey, but someone made money somewhere.
Who worked
Somebody
the deal
somewhere.
with the limo guy? I remember we'd have winners.
That
and
was
then
Oscar.
And then
Hey,
we take the winners to the concert in a limo, which was a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
That was with Ellis limo, no? Wasn't that what some guy named Carlos and Juanito used to work for?
Juanito. That's the guy. Juanito. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd have these winners, and then it was like 2-3 couples, and we take them to the concert. We had to go to the concert. I remember I got to go to the Neo one.
Yeah.
And we had the little signing, the little autograph signing back, and then we also went to the Yee concert with Rihanna,
Right.
Nerd,
That's right.
Lupe Fiasco. Well,
That
back
was a
then it
great
Kanye,
show,
but now
too.
he's Yee.
And what
Akon, we went to
Oscar-
Akon too, remember?
Akon, Oscar, you were at that show too, and all I remember from that is the winner puked
Throwing
on P Fresh's shoes. His new Vans.
Yeah.
Got my new
That was-
Vans.
That was in Universal City Walk, right?
Yes.
I think it
Yeah,
was.
Gibson Amphitheater. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because you remember you're watching the show, Kanye's up there, he's like, woo, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, ooh, what is that smell? And just everybody starts backing away from P Fresh, and that girl that's throwing up on him. And it's packed, obviously. Lil Wayne was the headliner. Yeah, dude, that was man, the good old days.
Yeah, those
The good
were-
old
The
days.
universe didn't want him to have those vans, bro.
The universe.
Hey, whatever
Then he-
happened to that? Whatever happened to that van? Did they just convert it back into a Campesina van or something?
Who
They
knows?
traded in for a new vehicle for Campesina. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I saw it on like I think I saw it like at one of those Union on Union, one of those.
That's one of the car
Some
lots?
parts. Yeah, where they
It's
sell
a-
parts and stuff.
Or a
It's
side
at
business.
It's at Cataldo's Auto Sales.
Yeah, it's a Catal. Yeah.
Now, whose idea was it with the truck? Thing? Remember to court over that and all that stuff?
Oh, that was the Hummer.
Oh,
The
was
Hummer,
mine.
right?
That was all me. Yeah.
that was what was the
Didn't
name
those-
of the promotion, Paco?
With the Humber, right?
Yeah,
the
when a
Hummer,
Hummer,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When a brand new Hummer.
Oh, that's when you guys gave away that toy?
Yeah.
There was a lawsuit, right?
Didn't you guys get sued? Yeah, I feel like that made national news.
Yeah, I remember you guys being in court quite a bit because I'd be on the station and I remember everybody like, where you guys come from? Oh, we just came from court. I was like, dang, how long is this thing gonna last?
That's
It wasn't court. It was
some kind of
what do you call
mediation
it?
or something, right?
Yeah.
Mediation.
And then it was easier just to
Settle?
at a settlement. Yeah. The lady from Subway. Yeah. 3 months later, she had nothing. She had driving a Pinto around town again. So
Really?
Oh,
Because I
really?
remember the funny part is she was a winner, won a CD prize pack, and I was pulling up. I don't know who was with me, but we're pulling up from lunch, and that she had this big monster truck type thing, and we're like, oh yeah, nice truck. She's like, yeah, thanks, you guys paid for it. I was the Hummer winner, and then it was a cash
I think
payout.
I think I got right there after that. I got to the station around after that, the Hummer incident, because I remember that lady coming to some remote or something and talking about it.
Dude, it made
Yeah, okay.
national news. Like, we heard about it in Pittsburgh. I was like, those are my friends. And they're like, yeah, no, they're not. And I was like, I'm telling you, those are my friends.
I remember they cranked up the truck, right? Vroom, vroom, and the lady got pretty excited. And then they come out with this little toy car, and I was like, oh.
Did you know, Mickey?
Wait, yeah, Mickey. So
because that was the morning show, and at that time I was still on right after at 10 o'clock. So this happened right in the morning, right, Paco?
Yeah, it was in the morning.
Yeah. So I had just gotten there when this just happened.
Wait, so the winner was outside waiting for you guys to drive the Hummer around?
Paco, in the back, right? Paco, you guys took her to the back, right?
Yeah.
Hey, but you didn't give her like $1,000 or something, or was it just the toy Hummer, bro? Well,
they moved her like around the corner of the building, so she couldn't see.
Wait, hold on a sec, dude. When we were in Tucson, I had a bit where we'd have Speedy come on and tell us who was gay or not on Time Magazine's cover. Right? We had this gay guy. He was on the show. And then we'd just be like, hey, Speedy, is this guy gay? And they say, yeah, Tom Cruise is gay. And then he'd explain to us why he was gay. We ran the bit once. And then like legal stepped in and was like, no, we're going to get sued, blah, blah, blah. So we had to stop doing it. Yeah, Alan Herman told us, Pac, you can't do that anymore. But you let these people in Bakersfield believe they were going to win a new SUV Hummer, and you were cool just giving away a toy?
We never said it was a toy. We never said it was a real car. All we said it was a Hummer. Back in the day, that would go.
Oh my god!
But she didn't get like $1,000 or something after. It was just, here's your toy you won. Like there was like.
Well, no.
For
they had her. They took her to the back. They had her believe. I think the DJ still went behind on the side of cranked up the truck and vroom, vroom, like. So
like a real truck.
Yes.
Oh man!
You only hear it. And then they brought the toy out.
That would be like, hey, we're giving away a house, and I go buy a doll house, and we give away the house. You know, like that's kind of messed up.
You guys didn't see that ending in a lawsuit?
Nah, no.
You take chances, dude. And even right around that time was when Hold Your Wii for a Wii. Remember that?
Yeah, and that lady died.
And she died from that too. Yeah, that was
Oh no, also the guy that was doing like drink to see who could drink more milk, the most milk.
The milk, yeah.
We did
some guy. No, we tried to do it, but we didn't do it, dude, because some guy died. Like we did? Nobody died though.
The guy was puking in the bathroom. It was for Bone Thugs and Harmony tickets. The guy was throwing up in the bathroom. It was a mess, dude. Yeah, that was.
But some guy died in Sacramento or something because he was drinking water or milk or something.
The milk, that's a true story. Yeah.
Holy cow, dude! We did some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, but you know what's crazy? You think about that too. Like even I check myself just what I say on the radio now because it's gotten to a point where you don't want to offend one single person. One person.
The things that would happen in the studio back in the day, you can't do it anymore.
In the studio, on the air, on the air, what we would say if it like just a 3-minute bit. Oh my gosh, we'd be on national news. We're the biggest bigots that ever lived. Da 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 da.
Hey, Vicky, would you do her? Vicky, would you do her?
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Shout out to Vicky Valle.
I love her. She's awesome.
Paco, did you feel a lot more freedom at the company in Bakersfield more than you had over with Art?
No, but it was a different time. You can't really compare it. You know, it was a different time. So back in the day when we were at Hot in Tucson, there's just so many other things that you can do without getting in trouble. And just times changed, and really you couldn't do anything. You were handcuffed for everything. You know. You have to be real careful what you said, what you did. But back in the day, man, we were hot in La Puente Lane. We could do everything and anything we wanted.
Oh, so by the time you got to Bakersfield, it had already gotten square? Like everybody started checking around?
Kind of, but not really.
Not a lot more, but a little bit more.
More than Tucson, yeah.
But think about this too, no social media. Nobody walking around with a phone ready to record you either. So what happened at La Puente Lane? Stayed there.
Yeah, but that was wild, Mickey. You don't want anything to do with that. Trust me. Our lives. You're too fresh faced, man. Like you look at your face. You have such a nice face. You'll get eaten alive down there,
Oscar
man.
would have loved it.
Yeah.
What is La Puente Lane? What is that?
No, that was where our station was at too. Yeah, that was.
Our station was rough, dude.
Hey, Sketch. What's rule number 1?
I don't know. What's rule number 1?
Dile?
I want to say it, but I'm afraid I'm going to offend somebody.
Don't sleep with the listeners.
Don't talk. I was going to say, don't talk to the listeners.
Oh, yeah, that was rule number 1.
What was it?
Don't sleep with the listeners. That's right.
Do not have sex with the listeners.
Yeah, that was rule number 1.
Wait, there's more to it, though. That's just the first part.
I remember one topic per break. The music's the star. Right?
That's right. That's right.
Rules. The music
because back
star,
in the
one topic per break.
That's right.
Yeah,
back in the 90s, it was don't sleep with the listeners because they're either really big or they're crazy. That was the other part of it.
That was it. Yeah,
that was the 1A and 1B.
Well, it was because they're the big or the crazy.
And Mike listened to it, and we stuck by that rule. Never got off that rule.
I remember Paco being a stickler with the mixing guys, because sometimes I'd have to be in there like DJing when the mixing guys, no underground hip hop whatsoever. And I remember some of the guys wouldn't listen, and next thing you know, they're not here. Like,
how'd you guys know they were big or crazy?
Paco said not to play that, but that's, I'm not your boss. Next thing you know, hey, what happened to so-and-so? Oh, he didn't listen. He's gone.
Dude, I'll say this, but I won't say any names. I'll say this, but I won't say any names. When Paco split, there was kind of an interim PD guy. And that week, there was about 18 records added to rotation. Turntables. You got a brand new pair of turntables. I was like, I didn't say nothing, not say no names. I'm just saying it was like, hey.
Alice like Manny took my gig.
Paco, you know what'd be great, and I'd like to hear it from Paco.
What?
Well,
who's your favorite?
Remember when when we had those 2 parties? I was in the middle because I just showed up to work. But you had the morning party that didn't get along with the night party. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And then we were at the meeting and they were gonna fight. Like, remember what he said? Hey, let's go outside. And I'm like, what the? And I was stuck in the middle because I was the midday guy. Mm-hmm. So I hear the morning guys, and then I hear the night guys, and I didn't take any sides. I was just there to work. But I remember that how bad it got.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It egos, man. Egos.
How did you manage that?
Try to get along. The best I could, man. The best I could. So yeah,
I heard about this, and I was like, Pete Fresh told us about it. A lot of people have recanted the story about how that happened on this show. That never happened at Hot. We would never think to talk back to a senior at Hot. If you're a senior at Hot, hey man, that's the way life works. You, for whatever reason, whether I think you're talented or I don't think you're talented, you're my senior, Andy B. I'm not going to talk back to you. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace, Andy B.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. But
Yeah.
But for real.
Yeah. Again. It's that sense of entitlement. Everybody thought there were stars, and at the end of the day, it's not shit, right? So just follow the rules. He's got his show, you got your show. Do the best you can. What the hell do you care what the other person said? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Move on. Don't lose sleep over that shit. Why?
We were also on the same team.
Right.
Stop. What are you looking at? There's never a time if I was at Hot, I might not like somebody at Hot personally. Me and that person might have some beef, but I'm going to talk to that person about it. I'm not going to try to get everybody to not like that person. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, Mike. Do you think that would have changed when Clear Channel came in and there was all these other people that used to be our competition we now shared a break room with? Because I wonder, I got bumped down to just a part-timer. They're like, we could fire you or you could stay on as a part-timer. I was like, well, what am I going to do, dude? I'll take the part-time gig. And Paco was doing Spanish only. I was a weekend gig for a while. And it was kind of, I kind of like.
Paco went to Tejano. You didn't go to Tejano?
Tejano, yeah, that's the station I'm talking about. Yeah. But again, not saying no names, but the guys that are now our bosses are the guys that are our direct competition, that in the streets, it was warfare. You know what I'm saying? Paco, how many times did the cops call and say, like, hey, your dudes need to knock it off because, you guys are going to be in trouble? Sadly, that happened at play too. But there was times when, or the other boss would be like, hey, general to general, tell your dudes to knock it off, or you know what I mean? So
now those weren't the same. Those weren't the same individuals that they brought to Bakersfield, were they? Because I remember the night guys originally. you got Paco. You brought him, right?
Yeah. Well,
That's a whole nother story.
One of them. But that's that.
Yeah, because
that
I
was,
remember when I came in, there was like two little cliques, right? Like it was like the delay clique, and then the other guys clique, and then the other guys were gone maybe like 3 months after I got here.
stupidest thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you talk about, and here's another rule to add to the radio playlist or whatever, it's like you don't try to undercut a dude. If you're doing nights, don't try to undercut the afternoon guy at a gig or remote or whatever, dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make your own. And there was stuff like that happening. And I'm not saying what it was, but there was times that you're just like, dude, we're all trying to eat. None of us make a lot of money. Can I go get a gig? You know what I'm saying? But it got ugly at times, and it got to where like you'd walk in and be like, all right, dude, shield up because it's time to go to battle in the place that you work. So but when me and Micky and Oscar finally got let go and laid off when they went dark, I kind of wondered after that. I was like, maybe they were just sick of the drama, even though a lot of the drama was gone because nobody was left. I wonder about that too, because Paco, you got kind of treated badly. I felt like you got the short end of the stick, no question. And then it happened to me, Micky, and Oscar. You stayed on to sell Campesina, but come on, salespeople are replaceable. I'm kidding,
nah,
but you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like me, Micky. It was me, Micky, and
I think I survived because I'm pretty sure I was on the chopping block a couple of times at the beginning. But I just literally, and I'd be honest, like Paco said earlier, that old school mentality. I just showed up to work. I wasn't above cleaning the van. I wasn't above cleaning the studio. I wasn't above washing the van. I wasn't above setting up. Like you said, when we did remotes, we would set up ourselves, and I never complained. I just, I worked in the fields at one time, man. So to me, this was like, I'm getting paid for this, okay? To wash the van. I didn't care. I think those things, I never complained. I wasn't trying to be better than anybody. I just came to do my job.
Yes.
And, that's something that Micky and Delay had was like, they didn't complain. If they had to do it, they would just do it, whether they got paid or not.
Even at one time, like Delay, I got switched to weekends. I became a part-time guy, and I just, this is the way it is. Okay, and I stuck it out until eventually they brought me back in as a full-time guy. And from then on, I just did my job. I wasn't.
Wait, why'd you make him a part-timer, Pac?
That wasn't me.
Who did
that
it?
wasn't me, right? That was after me, right?
No, I remember I got switched over because you brought that girl in from.
Oh, Moni,
the one in Moni.
Yeah.
Then I got switched to the weekends. That's okay, cool. I understand I'm not a hip hop guy, so I'll learn something. So I took it as let me see what I can learn, and eventually I was brought back full time. But in that time, what I did was not be sour grapes. I just said, okay, well, how do I learn? Let me learn this. And now I'm very thankful because I got to learn a whole different genre that I had no clue of. Like I said, Paco, I really, really thank you for that, man. I've always been really grateful. At first I was scared of you, but then I said, well, let me listen. What can I learn? And to this day,
so scared of him.
To this day, one topic break.
No, that's great too. And Paco and Mike remember this to quote the famous Frederico. You could be digging ditches.
You could be digging
ditches.
You could be digging ditches.
Yeah. So
I feel
this is a better job.
Paco, I feel like you had 3 radio careers. So you had like Hot 97, and then that kind of bled into early
Power 97.5.
I'm sorry, Power 97.5, and then that kind of bled into early Hot 98.3. Then you had middle Hot 98.3 with me and Ad and Ernie, and then you had what is it? Play, correct?
Clear Channel. Oh,
yeah.
Play, correct? That's what you guys were at. Wasn't that the name of the station?
Play 103.9. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had Play. You get where I'm going? Like I feel like you built 3 teams. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you even had a stint in New Orleans too, right?
For me?
Yeah.
No.
Weren't you running with Harper?
Oh yeah. Well, one of
it was Texas, though.
Texas.
Yeah. One of the markets was New Orleans, but I didn't work New Orleans. I worked Texas and New Mexico. That's what I did. Yeah, I was a market manager over there for both those cities. Yeah.
For a big company too. That was a pretty good sized company, right?
Yeah. I think It probably was like 15 stations around there. Yeah, I managed 1, 2, 3, about six stations. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you like? What did you like better, Pac? Being a PD or being a manager?
PD always, even if it didn't, it doesn't pay as well as a market manager. Never does, but
on paper. But yeah,
it's just a lot more fun. You know what I mean? It's what you know, right?
Yes, definitely.
I heard him. That's all right.
That's why it ain't on paper. Yeah, but I think about this too, and just thinking radio in general at this point in time. I mean, I feel like I'll be honest. I feel like I'm kind of one of the lucky ones. Am I making millions of dollars? No, not at all. But it's still a lot of fun. You're still working in music. But then you see these articles, man. YouTubers are making more than rappers, and you're just like, Mike, we're on YouTube. What's going on?
Sorry, bro. Well, here's my thing is like, I don't think about it in that manner. How I think about it is, we got to live a really weird magic life at the most magic time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like there's no other time.
Some good experiences, man.
No, you're right.
Well, there's just never going to be a time again where there's going to be a guy who can go, okay, I'm nothing. I have nothing except for a sparkling personality and a love of music. What can I do with this? All right.
You got into the cool clubs. You got into the cool parties.
Yeah, local
You got to hang out with the cool people.
Yeah, and then, you know what I mean? Like, that's never going to happen again. But we got to do it. And so, like, that's why, God bless the YouTubers. But we got to do something that no one's going to ever get to do again.
No, ever.
Well, we were the media. We were like the YouTuber back then. We're radio,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like, there was the Nickelodeon people back in the turn of the century. They were the stars, I guess. Even the silent actors were big at one point, and then there was sound in movies, and then they forgot about them, and then the next guys, there was new movie stars and so on. It's kind of the same thing happening.
Yeah, Baby George, what's up, man? He says YouTube is the new radio. It's the new all media. It's not just radio. YouTube's just, whether you listen to podcasts, whether you watch cooking stuff or whatever it is, or news or everything, you go to video streaming and stuff too. So I mean, that's just what it is. So maybe that's why these young guys, the girls that come up and they're 19, 20, 21, and okay, radio, yeah, okay, that's cool, but I can go on Instagram, wear some cute bikinis, and make money.
Yeah, but how much money are they making? Because I see people that have millions of followers, and they're doing videos, and you look in their room, like where they're looking at it, it's like a small ass room, and you're like, what? What? Like, I don't know. I just think they don't make that much money like they say.
Well, yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know. It again, I'm thankful where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing what I love and everything. But there was a time.
It's just a different. It's a different thing.
So I know. Yeah.
It's a different thing now. It's not the magic, and it's neat that you're still doing it. You know what I mean? But it's not. You guys both know it's not the magic like that time. It's a different world.
Yeah, and I'm old now too, so there's that. There's that.
Well, here's okay. So here's something. Back in the day, me and Pac, we used to talk about when we travel, listening to radio stations in different cities. And we used to be like, oh man, I love to listen to like road trip radio station. And it was just fun because you'd hear these different DJs all across the country. And sometimes you'd hear records you hadn't heard anywhere else. Mm-hmm. That's not how it is anymore, dude. You're going to hear the same cat all the way across the country. And that cat sucks anyways. He wasn't funny, He ain't interesting.
Go figure.
Scraping by.
I think one of the cool things about Play 103.9, it was kind of like a mom and pop station.
Yeah.
So, you didn't have to wait months for a decision. Paco was right there. Hey, Paco, what do you think about this? Do it. Okay.
Or that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah. But you got to know at that very moment. You know what I mean? You didn't have to wait. You didn't have to go through a chain of command. You just went and knocked on his door, and hopefully you caught him in a good mood. And yeah, Paco was moody
But
sometimes.
Paco was never I've never saw him moody or never saw that from him.
Well, you never saw emotion. A lot of times, you just get the emotion.
That's
so
true.
you're like, you'd ask him something, you'd be like, "Oh crap, I think he's pissed," but it was the same expression.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true.
Oh, dude,
that's more accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. It just is.
All right, I was gonna ask you guys, what would you do that would piss Paco off? Do you want me to go first? Or Adlai, do you know what I did?
Go ahead. I have one, but I don't know if I want to say it out loud.
I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead.
Say it.
Do you remember?
Nobody's watching.
Do you remember? I always my mic was a cross from Paco's mic. So it was Pac's mic and Vicky, and Pac and Vicky would be here, and I'd be across.
Okay.
And then there was a ledge right there, underneath
the
that
counter?
ledge. Yeah, underneath
Oh
that
gosh,
ledge.
yes, I know now.
I finished it, Adlai. What did I do?
Mike would chew his bubble gum and then stick it under the table.
It would be a big old wad, Mick. It would be like this.
Disgusting.
I'd be pissed.
Paco, get that off of there.
I'd be pissed.
Get that off of there.
Dude,
Go get some burritos.
Yeah.
I don't think there was I don't. There's nothing I want to say. I think on here. Let me think about it too. But Paco, dude, I think the only things that would really, I can't think of anything really bad or really embarrassing, but there was just those times you just didn't know, because I felt like for the most part,
you guys. You can just be honest with him.
Let's go with Mickey.
Well,
Mickey, you tell
I
us
do
something.
know that Paco asked you specifically what he wanted, and it needs to be specifically that way. If you even improvise or go off, you're gonna hear it. So I got one of those once or twice, and that was it for me. I was okay. This is how he said it. That's how I'm gonna do it. You know? And you're right. His tone was always. I didn't know him. You know what I mean? And he just, to me, was. You guys have known him longer than I had at that point. So I didn't know him. I really thought, okay, I'm gonna get fired today. For a good. The first 6 months that I worked with Paco, I literally, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna tell me, but I was on the chopping block. How I survived, I don't know, but I was.
For 6 months, Paco didn't bust your balls. He didn't.
Oh no, yeah, no, he was. He told me what he wanted, and
he didn't make jokes with you or nothing like that.
He would joke sometimes, but it was funny because he'd almost have the same tone in the joke as when he was being serious. Yeah. So you didn't know, is it funny?
Dude, I just had a light bulb moment. I know what it is, dude. Now I'm going to do this with my part-timers and my employees is always make them think they're about to get fired. You know what I'm saying?
That's a popular thing right there.
They're about to get fired. They're on the edge. Yeah.
Paco, how close did I get to getting canned?
Lost count, man.
No.
I don't. Honestly, I don't recall saying, "Man, we gotta get rid of Micky." I can't. Yeah, there was other people that definitely that shouldn't have been there at all. But no, nothing really. It doesn't. I don't think you were ever close. You know, I think there's changes that we needed to make with a lot of people there, and you know, we try to adjust the best we can and find that perfect formula of DJs and the music and everything else. And you know, do we have to make moves? Yeah, we got to make moves. And I could be wrong, I could be right. I don't know, but I'm not going to find out until we make that move and see what it sounds like, right?
Right. I remember we had a lot of people at the beginning, and then it seemed like almost like a game show, like you're on the island where you survive. And then he's gone. Okay. And then, alive. And at the end of the day, the last one standing was Delay and I, and yeah, when they called us in, it was just
because
yeah. Who else was?
I feel you guys didn't really like want to be the top guy. You guys just put in your work, and whatever happened. So you guys became very helpful to the station.
the-
Like apart from being on air,
The
you know, you
funny
guys did a
thing-
lot of stuff outside.
We mentioned it last time. The funny thing, the day we got let go, they applauded us on the way because they called us in because we had a 4-point something. Remember that delay?
Yeah, we finally cracked a 4
Yeah,
share, which is a big deal for that
something.
station.
And it was just us,
Yeah.
the skeleton crew. So people were like, yeah, you guys, the boss wants to see you. And we're like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, maybe now we're going to get more help or something. And by the way, Friday's your last day. What?
It was right around Thanksgiving or Christmas. It was
Yeah,
around
it
the
was right
holidays.
after
too.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Was it?
I remember that.
Thanksgiving.
At the end of the day, if there was revenue on that station, it would be on, right? But there wasn't.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. If there isn't,
When you have a crappy salesman like Oscar, how are you going to have any revenue at this radio station?
Because Oscar's pocketing most of it. Look at him right now. He's on the run. I don't know what he pocketed today. I'm still waiting for my damn things that I bought out to be connected. Still not connected.
Dude, let's
The
be
solar
honest.
panels.
No, I mean, it was
a year ago. Remember
it was-
that? I said, hey, I'm still waiting for them to click the on. It's going on.
Dude, but Club Tony's money
I
only
can't hear
can go
you,
so
Mickey.
far too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was tough because you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Only one person talks at a time, Oscar.
Yeah, it was tough because I mean, Campesina was doing real well, and it was hard to cross sell, right, with Campesina and play 103.9. So, but we tried our best.
Paco had a thought though. Paco, what was your thought too? I want to hear this.
Even if Oscar wasn't on the
Paco
show
laughing.
today, he's the only person that would sell the station.
It's true.
Seriously. And
Props.
And on another note, I can't wrap my head
Thank you, Paco.
around
Love you.
why stations, new stations that come up, they want to do a hip hop station in Bakersfield. Why? I don't understand. They don't make any money. They're off.
It's hard to make.
They're off
money.
6
It
months from now. Why are you gonna go against Hop? Seriously. Why are you gonna play the same old school as the group? You're not gonna beat them. You're not. Play a different type of old school. If you don't do the hip hop, why? You know, there's stations that were off the air and they come back on the air. They do a hip hop again, and there's not even one commercial on the air. Come on.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
is
it's
there
true.
money in radio anymore?
Not what it
I
was.
don't think so, man.
Only the big boys, but not really. I mean, they're leaving because now marketing companies and different products, their budget is okay. Here's radio, here's TV, and here is social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
You
social
know,
media,
so-
you can target your audience. You know, you
Well,
can.
the budgets, all the money's still there. The pool of money's still there, but it's shifted out of radio and regular TV, right? Shifted to social media, Instagram, direct marketing, kind of things like that. So the money's still there. It's just gone somewhere else.
Yeah, so
It's
that's why I'm asking: is radio viable anymore? Can radio
So-
make money?
What kind of format would you guys like if you guys owned a station right now? What would you guys do?
That's a great.
If you had a chance to own a station, what format
I
would you
wouldn't own it. I'd sell it and get as much money as I can for it.
Oscar, you're smart, man.
Paco, if you had an opportunity, what kind of format? If they gave you a station tomorrow and said, "Hey, here you go," what would you open?
I would do an old school hip hop station with like Notorious, Tupac, the Ja Rules and all that 10, 15 years ago. That hip hop even 20 years ago. And I would play the old school that the group doesn't really play.
Wait, hold on, Pac. Would you do that in Bakersfield?
Yes, definitely Bakersfield. The Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores, Sugar Hill Gang, that kind of stuff that the group really doesn't mess with. And now you have an audience that's different than the other ones. I mean, but you can't do it 100% and compete against Hot or compete against the Groove. It's just not going to happen.
Groove, yeah.
Why are you going to go in there and get 1 share or 2 shares and no money? Doesn't matter.
There's no money in that. Yeah, even national sales are looking at 3 share and up, if that. You know what I mean? It's tough to make any money too.
Yeah.
Why, Mickey? What are you thinking? You thinking of a format?
I'm doing okay with my rockin' wings. You know what I mean? But
Well, did my thing? Okay, so we had Greg Mack on the show. Oscar, you probably don't know who Oscar, do you know who Greg Mack is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the Greg Mack, W Balls guy, right? Was that guy?
What's that?
K-Day. W Balls, K-Day. Same
K-Day,
thing.
yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yes, we had him
W
on.
Balls is from Snoop Dogg.
We had him on the show.
You did?
Yeah, we had him on the show.
He comes out on that album, right?
I don't know if that's
Greg Mack?
he's
Hey,
on,
this is Greg
I'm
Mack.
on the radio. Yeah. It's easy.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, Greg Mack was on a lot of albums, Oscar, but he was a DJ in Los Angeles when we were young.
He has a radio station right now in Bakersfield.
Yeah, he does. But it's a competing one to Adlai's and Mickey's. So out of respect, I'm not going to say the name of it. But we do. I don't have any disrespect towards that radio station. But getting back to what I'm saying. But he was on the show, Pac, and I said, hey, man, this recession's coming. I got a couple bucks in my pocket. I said, what would you buy at the bottom of the recession? He said, a radio station. And I said, you think you should buy a radio station? He said, yes, I think you should buy a radio station. Then we had another guest who, I can't tell the other story, but the other guest told us it's not a good idea.
Huh.
Do you remember the story the other guest told us off the air, Adlai?
I want to say I do. I don't know if I'm thinking of the same one, but
yeah. So I don't know. Would it be a good idea to buy a radio station? What do you think, Mick?
I think you have to own like 3-4 for it to work because you can sell different. But if you just own one, I think it's too hard just to sell one. If you have like what most of the companies do now, they have maybe 4 stations, 3, and you might have a better chance because you could sell yourself a little bit more. You could sell, hey, look, we're gonna put you on these 3 stations opposed to just one.
You go broke, dude, quick.
It's tough.
But it's a lot of work.
Radio station. It's like trying to own a taxi right now. Like, it's not gonna happen, bro.
Versus Uber.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard, especially with all the online services now and Spotify, all those things. It's
maybe if you sold hours for $100 to people that want to go get on the radio to be on the radio. I don't know, something like that. I have no idea, but it's not money making.
Dude, really, where do you put your money at all at this point in time? Anyways, I mean,
you create an online radio station. You try to get a Spotify. You try to get into into podcasts and throw all your money there because that's. Shoot, I have the Spotify membership. Because I can listen to podcasts. I can listen to. I could just say old school radio. They play old school radio. Whatever I want.
Do you like Rogan, Pac?
I listen to him every day.
I think he does a great job with his podcast, man. I think he does a great job. Go ahead.
Do new cars even come? All these electric cars, do they even come with FM stations on their cars?
I feel like,
you got
I feel like they come
iTunes, whatever.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah. Well, Baby George is making some good comments too. Baby George, you're in Spanish radio, right? I mean, let me know. You're in
Baby
Spanish.
George
radio,
is everywhere.
Spanish, maybe, yeah. Spanish, maybe, yeah.
That's where I
Depends
think
on the
maybe.
market.
I feel like country, Spanish, and sports radio are safe, and I think old school radio is safe too. Because I feel like
maybe some political talk shows,
Yeah,
political.
I think
that makes sense.
Yeah, like
it'll work if
right wing thing. Yeah, you'll have a lot of that here in Bakersfield.
Like it'll work if only you could get the content on the radio. Like you can't find it somewhere else, so they got to tune in. Right. Then it'll work, right? You can get it
add to that too. If you think about it, like top 40 radio, the new music, your target audience is what 18 to 34, and even skewing younger than that, 12 to 24. It's kind of like where do they go for music?
Yeah, but if that was the case, why would radio stations do an online radio? Why would they broadcast online?
Do streaming?
That's the part
I
like.
Why would they stream? Yeah.
So what I'm trying to go ahead, Pac.
No, they stream. They focus on social media. Building their websites, building their streaming because they don't listen to the radio station. They'll listen. They're probably making more money streaming now than they are on the air.
Well, what I'm saying is the radio stations, while they still have listeners, need to be able to interweave their social media. And I'm trying to get the Chino brothers to be involved with their social media to show them, like, look, this is what our editing looks like versus what your editing looks like. You know what I mean? And be like, look, we will, we can do this on trade. I haven't figured out how we can do it yet. But what I can tell you is this: you were our first guest. And I remember when you came on the show, I had an Xbox I was trying to give away, and I was begging people, we need 1,000 followers, please. And I think we had like 200 followers at the time. We didn't get 1,000 followers, dude. We didn't even get 1,000 followers for like the first 8 months, or maybe for 6 months. And I was like, man, I don't know if we're doing this right. But now we're almost at 10,000 followers. We got 9,000 followers on YouTube. So yeah,
that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, and we've had some really neat guests, like really cool.
I mean,
guests.
just look at the Christmas parties, man. The radio Christmas parties used to be cracking years ago. Now I don't even think you guys do Christmas parties. Like once Christmas parties are done, that means nobody's making money. You know?
No comment. Ours is next Tuesday, so we'll see how it goes. But
was Busta Rhymes gonna be there?
But it's they're definitely not as wild as they were. But I mean, nobody. Alan Herman was the best host of all time of the Christmas party. Remember at KOHT at Hot? Yeah. Me and Mike and Paco know Alan Herman. He was our sales. He's the GM, right?
He was the GM, dude.
He was the GM, right? Yeah. So, and I actually won a 2-night stay at the Four Queens in Las Vegas. It was all on trade, I'm sure, but.
And Alan was like, "Hey, if you need somebody to bunk up with you, Adlai,
that's double occupancy, there." I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
But whoever's on radio, you still got to hang on. If you hang on the longest, you still be okay, I guess. You just got to keep hanging on.
Dude, in my in-between radio gig, I worked at Home Depot, and those were some wild Christmas parties, man. Home Depot.
Home Depot?
All out. They went all out, man.
Really?
Phew. Yeah.
Like, why are they radio?
Yeah.
We had our Christmas party at that Bass place. Remember the Bass restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Shadow Basque, I think, right there on Oak.
So it
was like a afternoon type of
the
thing.
mic on the Home Depot and be like, talk on the speakers.
Attention shoppers, it's time to get down.
Would you do that at your Christmas party? That's a great question, Oscar. I didn't even think about that.
No, but you guys know it here. It was at the Firehouse on White Lane. Mm-hmm. We had it over there, and it was DJs and music, and it was I was getting crazy. I was married at the time, though, so I was home by 10.
I told you, don't do it.
But once them orange aprons come off, oh man, people are ready to party over there too, man. Yeah, that's why I got divorced. I mean, that's not true.
Did you guys have beef with Lowe's or something? Or what?
Oh, it was on, man. I go in there and tip over paint cans and stuff, man. It got ugly. You thought,
Oscar,
thank goodness you weren't my boss there.
Oscar, you came from the Spanish music side, and Paco's came from the Spanish music side. Did you guys ever talk about that, like, kind of like that connection? Because that's how you started, right, Oscar? Like promoting Spanish shows, right?
Yeah, we would do shows. I mean, me and Pac, I didn't really deal with him too much because, he was programming at the time. So I was in sales, so I would work, with the sales manager or whatever. But I mean, me and Pac, we try to do some things. We try to do we had a magazine. Remember, Pac? Did we try to do that?
Yeah.
You try to do a magazine?
And like a magazine for artists and things like that. But
like Sin, but in Spanish.
Pac could like Sin magazine, exactly. Yeah. But on the Mexican side, and we probably did like 2 editions, and whatever happened. I don't know.
Well, once you're not in the game anymore, it's very hard to do anything.
Yeah,
you're on the outside.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of when you left, right, Pac? You ended up leaving, and it's real hard to keep.
Yeah.
People don't answer your phone calls like they used to, right? Like that's the problem. So
yeah.
And dude, I gotta admit, I feel like it's not personal. It's just kind of like, well,
no,
like, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of the business. Like, dude, I got to take care of my existing clients.
Does it bother you guys though that there's people, and I'm not talking about record reps, but like, there's a particular DJ. I won't say his name because Pac might still like the guy, but he would he would DJ like sushi restaurants and stuff. And so after I'd gotten fired from Hot, I saw him at the sushi restaurant, and he big timed me. Like he was too cool for me. Like I'm like, why are you doing this? If I choose to stay in this profession, I'm pretty tenacious. I'll probably go past you again, and you don't want to be mean to me on the way down. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like those are the people when you get out of the business, when you get fired from your gig, the like medium fish that big time you. Those are the people I'm always like, why are you being an a-hole to me? There's no reason for you to be an a-hole to me. You're like,
yeah. And I think you take it different too, because the first time I got fired, crushing. The second and third and fourth time, you're like, yeah, you know what I mean? Just
part of the gig, I guess. Part of the
and I think, dude, because my ego was huge when I was on Hot 98.3. You know what I'm saying? I had a huge ego,
dude,
way bigger than it needed to be.
I was trying not to do this, but I'm just gonna say it. Michael Big Nut Lopez
That's what I thought it was
DJing at like a happy hour thing, and he big timed me, dude. Michael Big Nut Lopez big time. I'm like, why? Like, what did I ever do to you? I was never mean to you.
Wow.
I would. Did you? You didn't tip, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good.
But he was DJing at a sushi bar. Really?
Yeah. No,
is that like a big thing or what?
No, it's not, Oscar. Like it's exactly what it sounds like. You know what I mean? It's not a cool gig. You know what I mean? Like, but I was at the sushi bar because I was like, well, free. I think it was like one of those things, free sushi at happy hour, so that was cheap. I'm gonna get a Diet Coke and get some free sushi. And I see Michael Big Nut, so I'm like, what's up, Michael Big Nut? And he looks at me like he's never seen me before. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. I just got fired from the radio. Like,
let me ask you guys a question. Like, for you guys that were jocks and Paco, you were in PD and stuff, and you kind of dealt with a lot of jocks. What made one better than the other, and how did one become the jock, like became the new big boy or Ryan Seacrest? Like, is there something that they got, or they just kind of got lucky, or who they know, what they know, or how does that work?
Who's gonna answer that?
I think you got a really good ear. I think you have a really good ear for it.
Like, what's the difference between D-Lane and somebody that made it big? Is it just straight luck, or is it hard work?
That's not nice.
Or you know what I mean? Like it's just the same thing in sales. Somebody that I used to be a sales guy. Some guys became huge sales managers, right? For big corporations. Like, what's the difference when it comes to that job?
I think number one, their personality, how they talk to the listeners, how they talk to everybody around themselves. It's just like a hot chick, right? So a hot chick could be super hot, but she's really mean to everybody, right? So now you got one that's not so hot, but she gets along with the females, she gets along with the males, she gets along with everybody. She's funny. Makes her more beautiful than the hot chick every single time, right? So, I mean, the analogy is a little different, but it's still, right? Who's got the personality? Who gets along with everybody? Who, everybody listens to them. They're not going to change it because he's on the air and stuff like that. I mean, and plus they got to be really good too. Look at Dub. I'll use Dub as an example, right? I mean, yeah, there's people that don't like him, but most people do. Right?
Yeah.
So you think it's more? So you think talent trumps, your character or the way you work ethic, or you need a little bit of both, or?
I think it's character. I think it's character, Oscar. I think because here's the thing. You could be super talented, because this was me. I was super talented, but I was really hard to work with. And I already apologized to Paco about that, so I don't feel bad anymore. But anyways, but like you could see it even in the things I produced today, because I was a producer, right? So like I could produce magic. I could make things sound wonderful. But I kind of was a hot chick that knew he was a hot chick. I kind of was like, yeah, I know I'm a hot chick, da da da. So like, I would put my gum under the thing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I would do stupid things that I should have been more grateful and been like, look, I get to be a star. I don't deserve to be a star. This fella could see the talent in me. I don't know how, but he knew I knew how to do it, and I should be respectful of that. But I wouldn't, you know what I mean? And so like that guy, you got to still be $10 more talented than me in order to make it, and you're only going to make it for a couple minutes because eventually no one wants to work with you. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then
some of the best DJs are the DJs that have never been on the radio ever.
Yeah.
You coach them, you make them what you want to make them. Right? I mean,
Oh, that too. It's easier to mold them, right? But you know, you have a great personality. You make people laugh and everything. You know what? Let me roll the dice on this guy or this girl, and let's see what they can do, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's no, because the next thing is though. I remember one time there was this girl. She was an intern at the radio station, and she wanted to be a DJ so bad. It was her lifelong dream. And Micky, you know what that's like, and Adlai, you know what that's like, and I know what that's like. So you just were rooting for her, right? And so we let her crack the mic once, and as soon as she did, after she was done, Pac's like, "All right, she can never be a DJ." And we're like, "What?" And he was like, "Nope, she will never be a DJ." We're like, but Pac, maybe she'll get better. He's like, "She won't, man. I'm telling you, she's never gonna be a DJ." And he was right, though. You know what I mean? Like he was right. I don't know how Paco had his Obi-Wan Kenobi, but somehow like he had the Force or something. He knew, like he just knew.
You have to have thick skin too, because especially when you have sound checks, you know, air checks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you gotta sit there and hold it, and, you know. But those are the best things because those things make you better. So you have to have thick skin too.
Oh yeah.
I would throw air checks across the room and.
When they were on cassette.
I remember you didn't know when you were gonna get an air check. Pac would just call you in and hey, come in.
Well,
and he had the little thing and hit the little. He heard you and then boom, he critiqued you. Those are some hard ones.
You know what I think it is too, though, is that Paco was like Fred was classically trained. I don't know if you guys ever met Fred Beaker, but he was classically trained and from a radio family. And Pac and him worked together, and him and Pac wanted to be very like, you know, the Queensbury rules of radio. They wanted to do real radio. That's why they'd air check you, because a lot of PDs don't air check. They say, oh well. They don't even listen to their own station.
Yeah.
Not him. He would air check us all the time. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, you're right. He would hurt your feelings. It is what it is. Don't be a sissy, man. You're in radio, you know?
Yeah. You're right. And you got to look at it from the other angle. You got to sit there and say, okay, let me learn from this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if a good PD would have to tell the guy exactly kind of what's wrong with him, right?
Right.
Without trying to like butter him up or not make it as harsh, right? If the guy's not that great, you would have to tell him, and hopefully the guy, like Micky says, gets better. Right?
Yeah.
It's
And
the only way
Paco,
you're gonna
dude,
improve.
how many people were trying to get on at KOHT?
Oh my gosh.
There was a line, bro. There was a line.
A long line.
I felt like that, dude. There was people coming and going and stuff too, and that was my own brain just being like, all right, I got to be careful. I don't want to get fired, so I don't want to mess up, because there's someone waiting outside ready to take your midnight to 6 gig.
Everybody's got a knife in their hand. It's aimed at your back.
Midnight to 6.
Yeah,
Well, remember a time,
exactly
Paco, where you like critique somebody and they started crying or any of that stuff?
Yeah.
Danny P, what's up, man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It happens. It's just, you know, some people. You don't do it to be mean. You do it so they can get better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just little things, right? Like say, just one topic. If you go on a rant and talk about 5 different things, you're gonna lose them.
Right.
You're gonna lose them. You just are.
I just remember. You never know when you were gonna call me in or call anybody in. Then you call them in. Then you put the computer on, and you just picked whatever day. You know what I mean? It was okay. Let's go this day, and you would pick it. You would go through them with me, and yeah, I learned a lot.
No, I mean, and I'm sure things have changed a lot since I was a PD, and I'm sure there's different things now with PPM and with the social media and, you know, with everything else, and I'm sure things have changed, but, you know, there's some of the basics that you got to stick to. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you really enjoyed the art of radio, like a true radio man. You know what I mean? I remember, dude, one time, Mickey. So I worked at a classical radio station. That was my first on-air job. One time, me and Paco listened to my air check from my classical radio station. I don't know why Paco wanted to listen to it. He was like, I want to listen to it. I was like, okay, cool. Because Ed K was the guy that did my coaching. He was my PD over there. So he listened to it. Ed K said, put a pencil under your tongue and talk with a pencil under your tongue so you have better diction. And Paco said, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's what Paco told me we were listening to it. Huh. But that's how much of a radio man Paco was. That he would listen. He wanted, like, he's like, oh, that was your air check from the classical station. I said, yeah. Can we listen? I said, well, sure. You know, he was a true radio man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I learned a lot from Fred. I mean, Fred is one of the most talented guys I've known when it comes to radio. And then he punch you. So
I was gonna say he's scary too, and he can kick your butt.
Yeah, no, that dude is freaking talented.
It's actually
He's
really
awesome.
a teddy bear too, man.
Yeah,
Nice, one of the nicest dudes ever. Yeah, no question,
sure.
man. No question.
All right, well, why don't we get to some news here, Adlai? But we have 3 guests, so I don't know who's going to pick the story. I feel like Paco's the godfather, so he probably gets to pick the story, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna say a couple a couple headlines, and you let me know which one you want to hear. Okay, Prince Paul reunites with De La Soul after 30 years. Kind of a cool story about the old school hip hop stuff. I'm trying to find. I want to find. Oh, football guy too. I know that. So NFL linebacker won't face charges after flattening woke protester who stormed the field with a smoke bomb. You might know that. Remember that game a few weeks back. And then I'm going to jump down to this one too. It's about being a boss. Olive Garden fires manager who said, quote, if your dog died, bring it in and prove it. Because he's getting sick of people calling out their shifts. So just a quick recap of the headlines. Let's see some. When he got the Olive Garden.
Let's go. Yeah. When you're here, your family.
So
like how many grandmothers do you have? Seriously.
Yeah. I was reading the article and I saw that, but you know what? After COVID, it's just gotten bad. People
like, is it people don't want to work?
I mean, because they give them too many handouts, bro.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, because we'll take you guys' vote after this, but here's the story for those watching. Olive Garden is saying arrivederci, goodbye, to a controversial restaurant manager who allegedly got so fed up with employees calling out for work that he demanded proof, or they demanded proof, even if your dog died. Now, a message reportedly sent from the disgraced manager to employees says, our call-offs are occurring at a staggering rate. From now on, if you call off, you might as well go out and look for another job. We are no longer tolerating any excuse for calling off. If you're sick, you need to come prove it to us. If your dog died, you need to bring him in and prove it to us. Is that a little extreme to go to that length, or or how many times do people call out and you're like, again? Okay.
You could think it, but you can't say it. You just write it down and start giving them write-ups and then let them go. I mean, but you can't say it. You're gonna get in trouble and fired like this, bro. But you can't. You gotta think it.
You can think it all you want, but you can't say it.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, it makes me think of those times when someone called out at midnight at the radio station or didn't show, and the jock that gets off at midnight, it's like, dude, I got a gig. I got to be somewhere. And it's like, who's coming in? And it's like, yeah. I remember that. And even at Play 103.9, I unfortunately lived the closest. So it was like something we're off the air.
Would show up in that van.
Adlai's the closest. Yeah.
The Jeffrey Dahmer van.
My creeper van and stuff too. Yeah, but Mickey, you got a ton of employees over at Rockin' Wings now.
Yeah,
do they call out?
Yeah, I do. But yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, Mike's got a business. You got employees.
My guys never call out.
Really?
Yeah, no. My guy Leo, he had COVID and he wanted to work through it. And I said,
how old are your workers?
30.
Yeah, I mean that's
mature-ish.
Mature.
I got 30-year-olds. I hire high school dropouts and like kind of tough guy, tough kids, and I try to pay them a nice livable wage because I want to give them a skill, and the skill of sales is a good skill for the guys to have. So I want to teach them how to be able to generate revenue that way. So, but I don't have those call outs. But this Olive Garden thing, I just thought about this. So Mickey, after I got fired from the radio station, right, I moved to Pittsburgh. Now here's the thing. If I was working in Tucson, right, I was working at Olive Garden. Back then, when you're a DJ, like everybody in town knows you, right?
Yeah.
So I could just hear it. Hey, Sketch the producer, produce me some more breadsticks, man. Ah, ha, 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 So now I'm in Pittsburgh, and so I was really grateful because I'm like, nobody knows me here. Nobody in this town knows me. So I'm actually waiting tables at Olive Garden. And these drug dealers that were coming across the country from Tucson, all the way from probably where's that, the border town right there, guys?
Nogales?
Yeah, Nogales. But probably coming from Nogales all the way to New York City. They were coming across the country, dude, and they came to my Olive Garden and they recognized me.
Wow.
They said, "Are you Sketch the producer?" And I said, "I haven't heard that name in probably 8 months. How do you know that name?" And they said, "We used to go see you at the Rock. We used to go dancing and we see you at the Rock." Isn't that weird?
Oh,
dude?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah,
Insane,
it was a weird. It was super weird because I was like, "Well, there's only one reason you guys are in this town because you have no other reason than hauling a lot of drugs, and I don't really want to know you." So
Were they good tippers?
yeah, I guess they were. I didn't really think a lot about it because they were trying to kick it, bro, and I was like, I already know why you're in town. There's zero reason for you to be from there in the East Coast. No need for me and you to know each other.
That's crazy. And I'm thinking too, this manager who said, you got to prove it if you're really sick. As somebody that's got to fill in, it does get frustrating. But now, if you go to that Olive Garden, they're always short-staffed because everybody's like, okay, they got rid of the manager that's getting pissed about people calling out, so we can call out with zero consequences. But if you're going to go to Olive Garden, because I think Olive Garden corporate's going to be like, why are we losing money? Why can't we keep this place staffed? We've got to get more strict about people staying on the job. And Paco, you talked about it. Dude, there's so many rules, especially in California. You got to document every little thing that happens at the workplace, or it won't be in the boss's favor. Period. So
dude, you can't even touch somebody on the shoulder, dude.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can't even look at anybody. Yeah.
Are you guys serious, man? California sucks, man. They treat you guys like toddlers. Like they have to tell you everything to do.
Yeah. It's kid gloves with everything, dude. With everything too. So, but for me, it's kind of like I don't want people to quit or not show, because then it's like, all right, well, this turned into a 14-hour day, which I don't mind doing it, but I'm at that age. I'm older. I'm like, come on, I don't want to do it. I'll do it. But
Why aren't people afraid to get fired anymore? When I was young and broke, that was my biggest fear in life, was getting fired.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man,
unemployment's huge.
How much can unemployment be, Oscar?
You know what? I mean, it's just gotten.
I have no idea.
It's almost okay now. I mean, you guys know, you never saw homeless back then. And if you were homeless, you were embarrassed of it. You'd be out the train track somewhere where nobody saw you. It's just a different mindset now.
Yeah, and nowadays,
being fired was embarrassing.
But nowadays, you can just go sell solar, dude. I mean, it's easy.
No, I think there's so many ways to get help. If you don't have a job, right, the more help you need, the more programs there is, right? So it's tough to be a hustler, man, and make, go out and work and get a living. You gotta pay taxes and all kinds of stuff. At the end of the day, you walk out with nothing, but if you don't work, they send you free money or free checks.
Dude, you sound like Donald Trump, dude.
This is Kern County, man.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, Mr. Trump? Are you a MAGA dude, Oscar?
Oh yeah.
No.
Republican, conservative. Kern County is very conservative. It's an oil town, and it's like kind of one of those things. You bring up electric cars around here to someone that hasn't moved here from LA or San Francisco in the last couple of years, they're gonna be like, yeah, we got to open up these pumps and oil wells and stuff. So it's a
I mean, and then you go eat at Olive Garden and the service sucks, then you don't tip them because it's like the service not good, and they get mad, and it's just a pain in the butt all around,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oscar's
man.
openly admitting he doesn't tip.
Of course,
5%. 5%. That's if they do a good job, right? 5%.
Well, yeah, but
Really?
Look, dude, I went to Mexico last year. Took my kids. We went to a IHOP, or kind of like a Mexican IHOP, right? Out here, if I go to IHOP, it's about $120-$130 for 5 people, right? That's our
$130. Is it? Wait,
Yeah,
hold on.
here,
$130 for 5 people at IHOP?
Yeah, bro, it's expensive. It's hell of expensive.
I haven't been to IHOP.
And the service is good. Service is great and everything. But you go over there, it was like for the same food, dude, same 5 people, like $40. Service was like they're on it. These guys are on it. I spent like $60, half the price, better service. People probably say, well, you should move over there. Well, maybe one day, but I can't right now. But
what is going on? Like, how are people not afraid to get fired? That is always, until I got older, that was the biggest fear of my life, was getting fired. Like, I don't understand. It's like people are just, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm not showing up to work. Who are you, my boss? Yes, I'm your boss. You need to be at work. Like, what is going on with these people?
There's no consequences. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
You can't fire anybody, dude.
Mickey, is that how your people treat you?
You know what? I'm pretty fortunate. I don't have that problem like that because I let them have all the tips. You know what I mean? So that gives them like a incentive to come to work because they don't come.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that?
Yeah, you should, bro.
And they come for the tips because they get tipped pretty well. So that makes them want to come, not miss.
And they get an hourly wage too, though, because I remember waiting tables in Tucson.
Wage,
it was a small hourly wage. It was like $2 an hour.
Nah.
But it's $15 an hour, right?
But let's be honest. If there's work out there, I have 5 jobs, man. 5.
I know.
You tell me you can't get one. If you don't, it might not be the job you want, but there's work.
And I think too, maybe with now that restaurants have to pay health insurance, sometimes they cut their hours, right, Mickey? And there might not be full-time employees, and things. There's a bunch of factors that go into play into this, dude. That people don't want to show up to work.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going broke. I got to make money some way, somehow. If it means going work out in the fields, got to do what you got to do.
I can't, Mickey, I don't understand why you have 5 jobs, man. Like, I'm sure you have 0 debt. Do you have a paid for house?
I'm still paying for my house. I still have a mortgage.
Okay.
You know what? I'm very lucky that I have 5 jobs I like. If I didn't like them, maybe I wouldn't be doing them.
Okay, so wrestling coach, is that one job?
Yes.
I
coach the varsity wrestling team.
Owner of Rockin' Wings, that's another job?
Correct. I also coach the varsity volleyball team.
Okay,
but that's not a job. Your job is like,
it's a job.
No, I know, but that's not really 5, dude. If you're a teacher and you're coaching, that's like one job.
I also teach and I DJ.
That's like a hybrid job. It's like one job in 2.
Look, do I get paid? Yes. If you get paid,
of course.
It's a job.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going out there for free. If they're paying
is it the same check or is it 2 different checks?
It's a different stipend. It's a whole different check.
Oh, okay. So I guess, okay.
Yeah. It's a
hater.
job.
So Oscar, what you're saying is Mickey's exaggerating about having 5 jobs. That's what
Mickey works real hard. Dude. Like Mickey's one of the hardest workers. This guy's always working. Yeah.
I just got used to working all the time, and it's hard. I'm lucky. I'm not gonna complain. I'm lucky in the fact that I have 5 jobs I like, but my girlfriend doesn't like it.
But I mean, It's something you like doing, right, Mickey? So it's not like a job for you. It's just
correct.
It is what you do.
You're absolutely right. If it was something maybe I didn't like, maybe I wouldn't be working 5 jobs. But it's hard. I don't know which one to quit. I'd be honest. I like volleyball a lot. I like wrestling. I'm DJing in my restaurant, and I like teaching. So and I teach special ed. So I don't know.
Yeah,
which one to
man.
quit.
It sounds
I'd be honest.
like
I don't
an
know
Adam
which one to quit.
Sandler movie, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like all the stuff you do.
You know, even like I play 103.9. We weren't getting paid a lot, but it was a lot of fun to go to work. You know, every day you look forward to going over there because in between recording commercials or whatever we were doing, we were always cracking jokes. It was always fun, you know. At least for me, it was.
Yeah, it's good time. Good time.
So that makes a big difference in wanting to work. At least for me, if I like it, yeah, I want to go. Of course, it might be different if I had to wake up and go, man, I don't want to go over there. Then maybe I wouldn't be working as much.
Dude, I've had a lot of jobs I hated, and I went to work every day.
Yeah,
it's like it is what it is, man. I need a paycheck. I'm going
But
to work.
but you got to find something you like to do. That way, it's not a job. You just show up, and if you like doing it and you make money on it and you're happy, it doesn't matter, right?
Now people always tell me, man, you're lucky. I'm not lucky. I really
works.
I worked hard to get that job. I had to win some championships for them to pay me a certain amount for coaching that. I had to, you know, I would be DJing, and before I'd be on, I'd be at the bar studying, people making fun of me. When I was at Play, I'd go to Cal State Baker Show in the morning. Then I'd go do the midday shift. Then I'd go to coach wrestling. Then I had a DJ at a club at night. You know,
so, people don't see all the hard work, you know, that you put in, like with anybody, right? And they go, oh, you're blessed, or you got this, and you do this. It's like, no, bro, you don't see all the other work we put in on the back end.
Right. Yeah, Oscar, because you're telling everybody that he doesn't have 5 jobs. You're telling everybody the coaching jobs are illegitimate.
But I'm sure he's like falling asleep while he's driving home and shit, you know, like watching TV, falls asleep, like all the, you know,
taking a nap in the locker room.
You don't see that, you know.
I'll be honest, I rushed. You guys saw me. I literally 1 minute before we were on the air, I literally just pulled up from wrestling practice. Tomorrow, I have to be in Delano picking up the wrestlers. I have a wrestling tournament at East High tomorrow. At weigh-ins are at 7, and I'll be there all day. And you know, Paco, remember I had to take some days off because I'd be at a tournament in Pittsburgh. I went to Pittsburgh. My only one time going to Pittsburgh for a wrestling tournament.
No, man, Mick, we didn't know.
And then right now he's probably going to go and change the kegs in the refrigerator at Rocket Wings, you know.
I do have to make a stop over there because we have the Raider game going on with the Rams.
That's right. I haven't checked the score. Shoot.
We have the Toys for Tots going on today, and we have a band called TCB, so it's packed. I mean, that's why I had to take off a little while ago. I had to return a phone call from the band that they need a certain thing. So, yeah.
You guys, here's something. I don't know if everybody knows this besides me and Adlai. But there's a barbecue guy in your town over there in Bakersfield called Big Al. And Mickey fronted him his start money. And this dude was homeless. And Mickey fronted him his start money so that he could start his company, Big Al.
What was happening was I've known Alex. We went to high school together. And he started out small. He would always run out of food. I said, man, why are you always running out? You know? And he said, well, I only have this much. I said, well, why don't you get more money? And, you know, of course you're going to spend more, but you're going to make more. And, you know, I helped him out. It was his idea. All I did was just help him out. But yeah, he's a hard worker. He was homeless. I can attest to that. I dropped him off one time at some trailer out in the middle of nowhere. But
so crazy.
You know, he worked little by little and did what he had to do. And look where he's at now.
Where is Big Al?
It's a mobile. It's like it's a truck, but it's a trailer with the whole barbecue kit on it. Oh, it's really bomb, dude.
Hey, look who's on
that.
Drewski, we gotta see what's up with Drewski.
Drewski, we wanted you to come on the show with this, but Adlai says you won't come on the show.
Hey, tell the story about when you told him that it was E40.
I think we did that when you were on, Mickey. Didn't we? Didn't we do that, Mike? The E40 thing? We didn't do that.
Tell me.
We're supposed to have an E40 was going to call into the station. And so
they called and he goes, hey, tell Drewski, because Drewski was a huge fan of E40. I didn't know who he was at the time.
Yeah.
So
Because
he goes, hey,
isn't Drewski from Vallejo? I think.
Yeah, he's from the
Is
Bay
he up
Area.
from?
Drew,
It's from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
so they wanted me to interview Drewski. I don't know who he is. So they say, hey, try to go find out. So Delay goes, like, tell Drewski that it's C40. So I tell Drewski, and Drewski gets all happy, and he changes his voice, and what's up, 40? And then Delay goes, for shizzle. And you can tell he got like so hurt because he was really happy he was gonna get touched.
Sorry, Drewski. I feel bad
And
about
it's
it.
almost like the Hummer thing.
You know who invented that joke? Paco invented that joke.
Did he?
Yeah, so Vicky, she was a huge Ice Cube fan.
Right.
Yeah, she was a huge Ice Cube fan. Go ahead, Oscar. Go ahead.
What did Paco come out with, like an ice cube or something, or
no,
from the refrigerator? Or what?
That would have been hilarious. I like how he did that. With
I'd like you to meet Ice Cube. Here's an ice cube.
Yeah, and so we really thought we were gonna get a phone with Ice Cube, man. Like we really thought it was gonna happen, and somehow it fell through. And so Vicky was super excited. We're like, "Oh yeah, answer the phone, answer the phone." Vicky was like, "Ice Cube, O'Shea." Yeah, Pac knows this story. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, Pac goes, "What up, bitch?"
That was similar to. That's where you got it from, Delay, huh? That's where you got it from.
Yeah, dude,
I remember that, but I don't know why.
That was Paco's joke, dude. That was Paco's joke.
I just remember Drewski was like, he was happy that he was like
That was
happen.
great. Oh my gosh,
Dude,
I felt bad. I could only hold it for like a minute. Because it was too hard not to laugh, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, the Vicky thing was the funniest thing ever.
Dude, she's great. She's been on the show.
Yeah, Micky came. Yeah, Micky came on the show. Paco, and she had a notebook. She was telling us, man, she knew so much.
She was prepped,
bro. Here's the thing: we keep trying to get a hold of Chico because we want to do you, Vicky, and Chico. Here are our dream shows. We want to do Rascal and Chico because we want to do the Mexicans, and then we want to do Chico, you, and Vicky because we want to do Morning House Party. So, dude, you got to right here. Shout out Chico. Tell him. Come on, Chico. Come on the show. Tell him.
Well, Chico. I'll call Chico. But you just tell me when, and I'll talk to him and see what happens.
All right, I like that idea. What do you say, Adlai?
Yeah, I'd love to have Chico on.
Dude,
that'd be great,
party.
Dude.
Yeah,
I know Vicky's
that'd be
down.
fun.
Yeah,
that'd definitely be fun.
Vicky's definitely down. She's easy down. Yeah. All right, Ad, you got another story for us?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say real quick. Speaking of Ice Cube falling out, I don't know if Oscar wants to share that story.
Down payment for a show for Ice Cube. Yo,
what happened?
What no? You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You forgot to pay your bill.
Mickey knows.
So you're talking about Ice Cube? Are we trying to do that show with Ice Cube?
Yeah.
And we sent a deposit. We sent a deposit. Dude, you said it wasn't him, but I clearly remember, and that was before kind of like, even I don't even think emails go that back that he do, but I couldn't find any. It was. I remember his name. It was Andre Harrell. But you're telling me he wasn't.
Andre Harrell was the guy from. That was the guy from Guy, right?
From what
Andre
guy?
Harrell's a big record label dude.
I know he passed. I want to say that was him, bro, but I could be wrong. It could be another Andre, And we said like $5,000 deposit to do an Ice Cube show.
Like that. Chunk of change, yeah.
Yeah, then I guess Hot had him for like their Boo Bomb. So we're like, okay, well, we'll do another date next year or whatever. Or, I don't know, Fresno or whatever. And he was supposed to let us in at the concert at Rabobank Arena, but we never. I kept calling him and he never answered, and we lost the money. Right? You remember that? It was you, right, Mickey?
It was me. It was Mickey too.
I never got. I just gave you guys my money. I said, look, you guys handle it. You guys tricked me.
Yeah, we got it. I never found that guy, dude.
Hold on a sec, Paco. How come when you got over there to Bakersfield, you were like, all right, breaks off. Who cares? You guys want to run these dirty concerts, these radio show concerts? Go right ahead. How come you did that when you got to Bakersfield? You didn't do that when we were in Tucson.
Well, I don't get. I don't get the question. Go ahead. Say it again.
When we were in Tucson,
Yeah.
we never ran these scams that the guys did over there in Bakersfield. They were throwing these concerts. They were doing them on radio tours. They were utilizing company, whatever, social media or whatever. I don't want to say social media, but they're using company, platforms to push the show. You know what I mean? Like you were letting them do all these things, but we never did something like that in Tucson.
Yeah, you know what? I think the shows were after I was there.
Oh, okay.
I've got answers. I got answers for both of them. I'll tell you, in Tucson, we didn't do them because they were doing them across the street first. And over here at Play 103.9, Oscar started as a promoter first, and he would actually buy commercials. And then if it made sense for the station to promote it as a station event, then it would be a station event. But it was. But we didn't do.
But we were pretty good. Yeah, we were doing okay. I mean, we brought some good artists, but it was always artists that were relevant to the station, right? It wasn't just like because if I had a plug, I could bring anybody and they would get behind it. So it had to be relevant station. I mean, relevant artists.
Remember Pretty Ricky
How did
at
you make the
Replay?
connection with the drummer from Guns N' Roses? He's the guy. Remember the brother?
Yeah, with Jamie. Yeah, with Jamie Adler. That's
he would bring.
We had
Bone Thugs.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing pretty well. Like we would pay the artists on time. Everything was good to the point where there was a couple times where there was concerts out here, and like I remember the guy from Valleytix would call me and say, "Hey, I don't think the promoter's gonna pay them because they would go through Valleytix, right?" So he would call one time. I think it was a Snoop show at the Fox Theater, and I think I told you he tells me, "Hey, I don't think like the guy's gonna have the money because the ticket sales aren't there. But I'm keeping all his money, right? Because he's the guy with the ticket. If you guys could pay the other half, and if there's a profit, we could give you that to you guys." So we were pretty well known to do that. But luckily, the event blew up and it sold out, and the guy was able to pay Snoop, right?
And how many times did you mention it on the radio, Adlai?
Well, no, we would mention it at every break. Yeah.
It was just, if it was a station thing, dude.
Yeah, we mentioned it quite a bit.
Yeah, in between songs, whenever, dude, every break between commercials. I mean,
and even if like like a record label came through and said, "We got a new artist, and we're gonna bring him to do a showcase at one of your clubs and stuff," and it worked. If the music, there was reaction on the song or whatever, then it would work out and timed out would be perfect and stuff too. But
wait, would you get a taste? Would you and Oscar and Mick get a taste?
Not for stuff like that, but it was what the other stations didn't get. You know what I mean? They wouldn't get anything.
Well, because we had the hot spots, right? So if there was a radio promo coming in and these guys wanted to perform somewhere, we had the spots.
I think what also helped out is we were mom pop, so we had a lot of creativity on our stuff. Like for instance, the Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't know how the heck Oscar got some ranch out there for them to go over there.
The ranch.
Another time, I was minding my own business, and they told me to go interview Bone Thugs. They're high as heck at a hotel, and I had to go over there. Okay, let me go interview these guys. At a pit bull. We took them to go eat tacos at the. I don't know how you guys got that.
At Casadores.
At Casadores, and we were DJing at Casadores at the time. So a lot of these little things that were just mom and pop type of ideas that.
It was more flexible. Yeah, it was more flexibility, like to do that. Whereas opposed to some other station, you would have to get approval from some guy.
I know, but but Paco, when we were in Tucson, Paco would not let this type of shenanigans fly. Adlai, you know that.
Yeah, but even in Tucson, we had promoters like Saul would bring people in or stuff. We do club stuff with him.
Not like what you guys are talking about.
Well, I mean, if you had a club night,
he brought artists though.
Yeah, we would bring artists for like private shows and stuff in Tucson, but I mean they were just up and coming artists.
But if you had a club night, that had 300-400 people every weekend, every Friday, you would want your radio station to be there because that's your audience, So it
yeah,
kind of
and
like
you want your artists there too. So I remember like
Yeah.
we had the Vans guys. What were they? Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
guys came through the club. Yeah, those guys came through, and they're
So
like,
there
they
was
don't
a
want to go to
value
some.
too. There was
Yeah.
a value to put your banners up there and do everything out, you know, like because it was just a
And
lot
don't
better.
get me wrong, we've had some duds too. There was times when we had 12 people there, 12 people in the audience, and it's like
3 people,
and the label's like, where's the crowd at? And you're just like,
that would be horrible.
Yeah, it was sad. There was a couple of those too.
Your artist sucks, bro. I'm sorry, man. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say the artist was there, but there was a couple. Yeah, there was
Just
a couple.
say it, dude. Just say it.
Yeah, who cares? Like, who was it? I forgot.
Lunch was one.
I knew you were gonna say that one.
That one was coming. That one was coming into my brain. But I was
super nice guy.
Why didn't you say it, Oscar?
I don't want to put the dude on blast or anything.
I mean, is he still around? Is he still? Yeah, he's cool. He looked like he had a song. I don't know what the song was.
Yeah, we had a song we were playing from lunch, and I think it came like once or twice. The first time it came, it wasn't too bad of a crowd. The second time, 3 people maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't a big crowd. He just kind of like, oh, sorry.
Did he
dude.
come back too soon?
No, it just wasn't working, bro. It's just not. It's not the.
It wasn't hot no more.
Well, I mean, it wasn't hot to begin with. You know,
was it?
No, I mean,
it was one of those. It was an okay song, but just
that's why he came to play, not to hot. You know, because we were the only ones that played him. I think.
Yeah, but you guys had like Pitbull.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that one happened.
That was Purple. Remember Purple?
Mr. Purple. Mr. Purple. Yeah.
Hey, remember that one guy, Mr. Criminal?
Criminal came through. Capone came through.
All that big old.
I think Pitbull happened a lot because we were more of a Latin. You know, we played some of the Latin stuff, like the Latin hip hop.
He was actually there. Pitbull did a show at Mercado Latino before I even got there.
No, we got him when he played at the Nile.
Mercado
then
Latino.
the Nile.
What was that?
It's like a swap meet, kind of outdoor indoor swap meet kind of
He
area.
had the Culo song at the time. I think that was his only hit at the time.
Cool.
That was out at the they had a venue, right? Mercado Latino had an outdoor venue for him, right?
Yeah, we did Brown Boy out there. Remember Brown Boy?
Yep.
And I forgot who was it.
Did him at Aldo's too.
Yeah, Roscoe Umali.
Oh yeah, let's go Molly.
Roscoe Umali.
Yeah, was there a Gemini? Was there a Gemini guy?
Did he come out? I don't know if he came out. I like that song though. He had a good song.
I think it's Gemini. There's a lot of artists.
A couple of shows like that. Yeah, I can't even think of all of them, dude. There's so many. Yeah,
we had some good lineups too that we were gonna do, but then they would cancel at the end.
Dude, and even Pitbull at the taco stop, there was only like 20 people there.
What?
It wasn't a big crowd.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't that big a crowd. It was I was shocked even, but Pitbull was kind of about to really blow up. Yeah, but then the now. But even the now was what? 1,000 people capacity. It wasn't a huge.
Yeah, probably 800 people, dude.
800 people, yeah.
If you guys could do radio all over again, starting right now, right? But like, and in other words, so like how Micky said, you could pick your format, right? And we all didn't get to tell our formats either, but you get to pick your format. You could start it right now, and you knew that you'd still have like 20,000 listeners in the morning and 5,000 listeners in the evening. So you could maybe you could sell it, but you could also really do radio the way you wanted to do radio. Would you do that if you were given the opportunity right now?
Who wants to go first?
Like, what do you mean do radio like you want to do radio? Like
run it from the
ground up?
Like
it was, but run it from the ground up.
I don't know. I still wouldn't do it. But
man, it's just too hard right now with all these internet things, If
it was,
heck yeah.
If it was like a small market, dude, and I had a radio station, I would try to buy like a nightclub, have a restaurant,
something to supplement it with.
Yeah, something to like push people
plug
to go
over.
there, dude.
You could plug over. Yeah.
Put it under my
t-shirt
sister's name, my brother's name, and do all that stuff, dude. Like that's what I would do.
Car dealership.
Always the criminal. What would Adlai? What would your format be if you started a radio station?
I mean, dude, it'd go to my first love. I mean, hip hop for sure, but I kind of like the old school idea. Like kind of like I work at Groove now, so it's kind of where I would probably be. But I think I think I'd be smarter with social media, knowing that you've got to go back and forth. One's got to complement the other at all times, because we were in that era of radio where there wasn't social media. So I think for me personally, I can say that when MySpace came out and people didn't really know what it was, like you didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to use it, and I didn't use it to take full advantage of it like I should have back then, because you just thought like, whatever, it's something on the computer. You know what I mean? It wasn't threatening at that point. But now it's like, dude, you've got to have both. You've got to have a presence on that, and that's where
Dude,
with the Chino brothers.
You don't know that though. Like radio stations don't do it. I look at, dude, I'm telling you, I saw, like, I won't name the radio station because I'll be polite. I saw a person who has a very like hop in hip stations social media page, and they had a lot of good celebrities on there, and they had almost no interaction, 200 likes or something. I'm like, man, if you have that person, there should be some serious interaction. But what were you going to say, Mickey? I'm sorry.
I think what I forgot what I was going to say.
I mean, I think what would probably work, dude, and something that I have thought of in the past is like,
I remember.
You have all the equipment, right? It's there as a station. Why not make it like a podcast studio, right? You just get people to do podcasts like you guys, but have the radio station be the owner of the content. I don't know, give you a place to do your own podcast to get it out there, to record it professionally, kind of use the studios that way. That would be what I would do, and throw music in there. I don't know. I have no idea.
I remember when, like Adlai said, when MySpace came out, I didn't even know what it was. I remember Dirty Sanchez, the morning guy, told me, hey, you need to do MySpace. What the heck is that? And I remember he showed me how to do it. I remember when we went from records to Serato, I was pissed off. I was like, I don't want to record it. I don't want to use a laptop. I don't need that. And then I think I was so lazy to put all the music in a computer. I was like, oh, that's all this work, and I hated it.
Shit.
Now I can't play without it. I'm like, I don't want to carry all these records,
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh.
But back then, you remember when Serato first came out? I said, what? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't want to put all this music in the computer. That's a lot of hours and hours and hours. But yeah, we got to be in radio at that moment where we saw those type of changes.
Yeah, I remember when Napster came out and Pac would get mad at us for bootlegging music at the radio station. So we'd be bootlegging music, and he'd come in and yell at us, and we're like, what's wrong? And he's like, that's your competition, man. And we're like, what do you mean? That's not our competition. He was like, trust me, anything that's keeping people from listening to you play that record is your competition. And I never thought
he was
about
right.
it. He was 100% right.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, Paco, radio for you again?
Come on, Pac, you got to do it.
It all depends on the business plan. It all depends how much money we have in backing and what we can do with it. If I don't have that, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And it has to be a big social media plan with it. I mean,
yeah,
huge. It has to, and there's got to be money involved. I mean, you got to know that in the first probably 2 years, you're not going to make any money. Do we have that kind of money to even last for 2 years? I don't know.
That's
right?
a runway. So, that's a runway.
That's the only way I would do it. But
for something like that to be a successful station, whatever, what holds more weight at this point in time, the social media presence or the radio presence?
Social media.
I think it does work in conjunction, though, to be totally honest with you guys. Because now I'll say this. So owning a vape shop, I can't advertise. So like owning a vape shop's really rough for a couple of reasons, but not rough for the other reasons, and I'll explain. You can't advertise anywhere. It's really hard to get insurance. You're treated the same way as if you're selling pornography or you're selling like
drugs,
firearms. Yeah. So like that makes it very tough, right? But Walmart doesn't sell your product and Amazon doesn't sell your product either. So you have a very long lifespan. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
that being said, I had to learn how to get good at social media because I couldn't do any form of advertising. So I did. I got really, really good at it. But the problem is that I didn't like not being myself on it. I did things that made people laugh or made people like shocked, but I wasn't being myself, and I didn't like that. So I just said, well, whatever, and I let it go. I just let the whole account go. One account got kicked off the internet though.
I know why too.
Yeah,
the one
with the washing of the horse's wiener.
Yeah.
But yes,
and here's
go ahead.
I was going to say, to add to the social media thing, and we talk about people coming up now. If you're in your 20s thinking like, I want to get into media, is it radio or is it social media? Here's the thing though with social media, it's a long, hard grind.
Yeah, it is,
to get to where you're like comfortable and actually making a living at it, and it's not getting easier. Because you think about, I don't know, Logan Paul or whatever, it was years before he got to a level where he's like, all right, now I can, do other stuff like boxing or marketing a Gatorade type drink or whatever it is, So I think people, when they look at it, they're like, oh, dude, this is, you're blowing up, dude. You got 200 likes, and you're just kind of like,
they don't see the grind.
And there's no payoff, dude, really, when you think about it. You're talking to your phone, making a post, and you're just like, sometimes you think, well, you know what I mean? But
don't quit. Don't quit
no
at what you
do.
Just keep doing it.
If you like it, don't quit.
You don't quit. You don't get lucky. You just put in work, and
I think that's
control
the
the
thing,
controllables.
I think that's the problem, right? People don't want to grind anymore. And realistically, well, crap. Think about this, Adlai. And Pac was our first guest. Paco, our studios didn't look this nice when we first interviewed you. You know what I mean? We didn't have these nice microphones.
Yeah, I mean, most people want to eat. Nobody wants to cook. Most people want to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die, right? So,
exactly.
Just put in the work.
I remember that.
Yeah. So like, but also at the same time, Adlai and I have a company behind us, my company, that's just like, all right, well, this is a write-off. I can write it off. So it's like we have a company behind us. We have a 30-year friendship. We're both professional broadcasters. It's like, man, they make it sound like anybody can just show up on YouTube and they're going to get famous. It's like, I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah.
If you do it long enough, dude, you do it long enough, you're just going to see the multiples of your subscribers get better and better. And you eventually you'll have more viewers, things like that.
I mean, we're like, we do nicely, and that's a blessing. But at the same time, I will say this, coming from both sides, knowing Adlai's in radio and then me doing decent with social media, it really is nice when you have both working together. When you have Adlai, where it's like, okay, he's a celebrity, and then you have Mike, and it's like, okay, he's the businessman fronting the celebrity. Okay, cool. And now the Chino brothers can work,
Now
like,
you just need a salesman.
Podcast.
Yeah.
True.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. But yeah, all right, Adlai, do we got another story or what, man? We keep getting.
It's up to you guys. We can keep going. I feel like it's getting kind of late, so I don't want to hold these guys up either.
I know.
But let me see. I'll throw out a couple more headlines.
I just want to say this was a really cool night, man. Thank you guys so much for showing up.
For having us. Thank you.
Yeah, this was definitely like a dream one for me, because I told Ad, I said,
fun.
Would be really neat is to have Pac on, because it's two different versions of who Paco was. Like, I thought that was a really neat idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
It's good to see all you guys too.
Oh yeah, obviously I love you too, Oscar. It's like,
I haven't had a conversation with Paco in how long, Paco? It's been over 10 years.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
same here, dude. I haven't even. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I said let's skip the last news story unless you guys really, really want to do it. But I mean, if we end now, I'm okay with that. And we need.
What is the last news story? What's the next story? What is it?
Hey, might as well say it.
Yeah, we're all just saying how much fun we're having seeing each other and being like, wow, we haven't seen each other forever yet.
All right, so this is about a priest, a minister. He wants to take his church, and they got a lot of land, so he wants to start growing cannabis.
Oh man!
So
what kind of religion is this, or what is this?
No, it's just let's see. I'll just read it real quick. So it's Giselle Bryant's ex. I don't know if you know her, but she's on one of those reality shows. But Jamal Ponders, he's starting a cannabis business at his church so he can target bankhead black boys. Basically, that's an Atlanta term, but it's like boys from the hood, right? So he's Pastor Jamal Bryant. He's a senior pastor at the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, and he was on a podcast, and they talked about a bunch of topics like how he became his pastor, his purpose, community work, etc. But he did share that he knows his purpose, so he's mindful. I'm not after Christians. I'm after people who don't go to church. This is what he said in quotes. So he added that many churches are just recycling people from other churches, which is part of the reason new people aren't coming to church. I'm looking for people that smell like weed. He said with a small laugh, of course. I'm at their place. No, really, that's where I want to be. New Birth is the largest land-owning black church in America, and so my position to my deacon is, quote, why aren't we not raising cannabis? I'll be able to bring in black males. They're able to do it legally. I'm teaching them farming. I'm helping them to enhance the ecosystem. So if the guy's a black boy in Bankhead, he says,
I'm with him.
Yeah, they grow weed at the church. Where do I join?
Nah, it sounds shady to me, bro.
Nah, man,
sounds
I'm
shady.
priest. I like
Look, man, if Oscar says it's shady, it's shady.
It's shady, bro. Like you know, like what's
you had that guy that could tell gay people? Oscar could tell shady people.
like Kim's mom. What's her name? Kim Kardashian or Kardashian mom? The lady.
Yeah,
what's her name?
Yeah, I don't know her name.
So but she has a church, right? So she has a church that they have, and there's like, I don't know, 100 members, right? So like Kim and her daughters donate, like you could donate to that church, and it's a tax write-off, right? Now, any money that comes into the church is a tax write-off, and the government can't really. There's like a real thick veil.
Oscar, you're not a religious man at all, are you?
I am, but that's super shady right there, dude. That's them to not pay taxes.
Man,
is it legal?
Make as much money.
Shady? That's super shady.
Yeah, that's super shady right there.
You know what?
Why can't they make money off of it?
I know. Hold up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd be doing the same thing, but that's what I'm saying. It's super shady.
I want to get to Pac's argument because I think I agree with Pac. But real quick, Mickey, when you said this, when you're like, hey, you know, if a guy knows a guy's gay, you know, he could pick him out and tell that guy's gay.
Right.
I thought you were gonna say Oscar's gay. I thought that's what you're gonna say. But, all right, Paco, what's your argument about this priest growing the weed? Go ahead.
What's wrong with making some money? And if it's legal, and he's teaching young adults or just teaching people in general how to grow something that's legal and show them actually a career path. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with that? It's legal.
And you know
there's nothing wrong, but why not do corn? You know, why not do grapes? Why not do something else?
Why not wine?
Weed sells more than that.
Why not bourbon? Why not beer? You know?
Yeah, why not why not a chicken farm? You know?
Yeah.
I was trying to go the diplomatic route. Paco went right to it. Weed sells more than that. But
well, yeah, of course.
This is what I was going to say is because the priest did say, he said, I want to go to the people who smell like weed. You know what I mean? Like, I think the problem with church today is back in the day, everybody went to church, right? Your mom and dad, they took you to church. It didn't matter if you're religious or even they were religious. You're going to church. Nowadays, kids, they don't even go to church anymore. You know what I mean? They ain't going to church no more. So where are you going to find these kids to tell them about the good Lord? Well, if they're already smoking the weed, I mean, you might as well, you know, be involved in that business. You know, you'll have them. Like Paco said, it's legal. He's teaching them a trade, and it's young black men who need to you know, have trades, have responsibilities, pensions, and things like that in our country. What do you guys say? Oscar still says no.
I still say, yeah, no. It's like they're not going to show up to work, man. You know, like smoking that's not going to better your.
Says who? Says you?
Only one guy's gonna make money. Not all the guys that farming are gonna make money. Only somebody's gonna make money.
They're not gonna show up because they're high.
You're assuming. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Say that.
Got to give them the opportunity. Is smoking weed a sin?
No.
Is selling weed a sin?
If it's legal.
Yeah, legally selling weed, is that a sin?
No.
I don't know. It kind of depends on your where you're at morally, don't you think?
Dude,
I don't know anybody at my church that smokes weed.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know that. They're not going to tell you.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I mean, they probably eat.
Nobody I
eat
think
it.
would.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and this is the 100% truth. I ran a shop. I ran my shop for like 3 years, and we didn't sell weed because it wasn't legal, right? Then they made it legal in Pennsylvania. I started selling weed, and dude, you do not know. And Pac is right, bro. Like the most conservative Trump dude. Like this dude looks like he is on the TV commercial for Donald Trump. He's like, what do you got over here, Mike? I'm like, oh, those are Delta gummies. What do you mean? What is a Delta gummy? Oh, you know, marijuana gummies, Fred. You know, probably not for you. Well, what do they do to you? Is it like the real thing? What actually is the real thing? Well, I might try some. For you know, bro, half his Elks Lodge over is at my shop, bro. I'm emptying it out, dude. I mean, I flooded it all. I did it when we start selling weed, like Delta products. I can't legally say the word weed when I'm talking about what I sell, guys, but that's what I mean when I say the word Delta products. Once we start selling Delta products, we start making a lot of money on that, bro. And I felt 0 parts religiously bad about it. Like I prayed a little bit about it. I was like, Lord, if this is wrong, keep me from selling it. I won't sell it if you tell me it's wrong.
What's the difference between selling weed and selling alcohol?
I think
No, there's no difference.
Nothing.
I mean, alcohol, I think, is worse.
Exactly.
It causes more problems.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think there's less fight,
but
drama when there's weed.
But the church isn't showing you how to brew alcohol, you know?
That's where you're wrong. If you go to Spain, if you go to Mexico, you have a lot of the breweries. Yeah, you have a lot of breweries. And if you go to Germany, so the Germans, they would brew the beer, the wine.
No, but I'm saying the church. There's not a church teaching is church culture to brew beer.
It's the monks that are doing it.
Huh.
Have you ever been to a church carnival?
That's true.
Oh, they sell beer. Yeah.
They
sell beer. Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, they got blackjack at the carnival too, Paco. Don't forget that.
They do.
They gambling.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with selling that.
Jig, you put their dollar on it, spin the willy thing, you know.
Oscar, we got to start.
What's up?
We got to start collaborating with a couple churches out here.
Yeah, then that's what I'm gonna do,
going, man.
I'm gonna find the church with the biggest land.
It's you know what it is. I feel like the fact that he's a priest make you automatically think he's a crook, right? Like, I see it. All you crooks, all you priests are crooks. But then when he explained, it made sense to me. And then I no longer, because I honest to God, I thought he was a crook too. I was like, nope, you're gonna find out. But then when he explained, hey, look, I'm going to teach him how to do this. I'm going to teach him how to do that. And he's probably going to pay him a relatively decent wage. And realistically, look, man, the kids aren't going to church to learn about the good Lord anymore, man. They don't want to hear about it. Why? Well, because they're being judged. For what? For something that's legal now.
Why not teach them to be plumbers or electricians or something?
Well, I gotta get some wine.
So yeah, Rick the Rebel, they got wine. That is true. Yeah, I'm just thinking. I don't really smoke weed, but if I did smoke weed, and I went to this church, I'd be suspect the whole time because I'd be so paranoid. Like they're up to something.
Dude, you know, like you're high right now as we speak.
Yeah, dude, your eyes kind of like.
Yeah.
Wait,
you say Asian? You say
If you did smoke weed, you'd be suspect of this guy, or if you didn't smoke weed,
because I'm a paranoid dude when I
yeah, you're not supposed to.
It's been
smoke
years,
weed.
but
that's not for you. Weed is not for you. Yeah, but my thing is, I think it's just I think it's just because it's so controversial. But it is legal. What if it was brewing beer? Would that be less weird to you, Oscar?
No, it's just it's not a place for that. That's not the place for that.
What if it's like a microbrewery? Like they're like, hey, we're gonna.
It's not the place for that. That's not the place for that.
All the proceeds go to feed the hungry, you know.
No, no, it's not gonna go to
Yeah.
Well,
really?
Do you think crime has gone down since the weed has been it's legal now and they don't have to buy it from the guy on the corner or anywhere else? I'm just talking about weed. I'm not talking about drugs in general. Just weed.
I think crime's gotten up somewhat. No, I don't know.
If it has gone, it's not because of weed.
It's not because of that.
Yeah,
I don't know
that weed thing.
I don't think.
I don't think it's because of that.
To do with that. Is there less people in jail? Yeah, because it's not a crime anymore. But
doesn't it suck way less to buy weed now? I think that's a better question. Like, bro, having somebody come to my shop and be like, all right, what do you need? Hey, Mike, can I get a 2 gram? Yeah, I got you. Here you go, sir. Have a great weekend, blah, blah, blah. Versus when I was a kid, bro, I had to go to my homeboy Richard's house. He was in a gang. He was a cholo. It's like
had to meet behind 7-Eleven at the
this is horrible. It's horrible.
But I mean, does smoking that make you less ambitious and not want to go to work and not want to succeed? I mean, most people could do fine with it, but like the younger generation, you know what I mean?
I mean, God bless him.
Un huevón es un huevón, dude.
That's it. I agree.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, pero con más va a ser más huevón con esa madre.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, that's not, but I don't think that's your responsibility though, Oscar. Like my thing is I do it a lot, bro. Like I don't want to say every day, but maybe not. I'm not saying every day, but I mean, it's like my wine or whatever.
I mean, I don't mind it, but when you go to a store, or, and the security guard smells like it.
Yeah, that is
annoying. Or the cashier smells like it, it's like, bro, annoying. Like really? Like
it's kind of like anything else. I mean, if you smell the cashier with alcohol, alcohol.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
There's a time and place for it.
Yeah, but it's weed at work.
Yeah, it's true.
Like you can't drink at work.
Yeah,
I agree.
There's a time and place for it.
On top of that, there's some bomb gummies on the market right now that are legal in California. It's like nobody needs to smell you. Just eat this giant Jello cube, and you trust me, man, you'll be flying.
Yeah. So, Mike, where you're at, is it legal or illegal?
No, the Delta 9, which is the medical, is illegal only with the card if you have a card. But the Delta 8, the HHC, the THCP, like all these other strains that the government, they made them legal when they made hemp legal. So they're like, okay, remember, hemp belts and whatnot, they made it legal. Well, the question was, well, then can we smoke the THC from the hemp? And they're like, well, it's so little, you'll never be able to smoke it. Well, then we learned how to extract all that THC out of the hemp, but it's still legal. So now you could sell it and you don't need a license or anything. So all the vape shops start selling, but I sold it before everybody. I was freaked out when I first started selling. I had my paperwork there and everything. Like, man, and then this cop showed up and like, dude, it looked like, I looked like I was on Venice Beach,
but how potent is it compared to the vapes or the stuff out here?
To the Delta 9. So it feels exactly the same, except there's no paranoia. So that's exactly how to explain it. Delta 9 would be like tequila, and Delta 8, HHC, all those other ones, they'd probably be like a strong beer.
Kind of like when you go to that restaurant that doesn't have a full bar and they give you a wine-based margarita or something.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly. But you're like, yeah, I'm feeling this is pretty good. So it's nice. So I can sell it. And then the margins on it are phenomenal, you guys. They're phenomenal. I don't want to tell them over the air because if any of my shoppers find out, they'd be angry at what I pay for what I sell for. But
do they still, I mean,
Oscar's asking a little too many questions. I think he's looking
at
them.
The problem,
all of a sudden it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. He's doing the math as we speak.
The problem,
it's okay.
The problem is, Oscar, is in my state it's illegal. So Delta 8, HHC, all those things, people really want them, and I could sell them gummies. I could sell them cookies. We had these Doritos, like you name it, bro. We could put it in there, and boom, we got you. In your state, the real stuff's legal. So they ain't gonna buy this stuff. You know what I mean? Your margins are saying.
Yeah,
unless you're trying to fool somebody, but you can't fool people with this stuff. Like, dude,
no.
One of my vendors, he bought 2 pounds, 2 pounds of this stuff, 2 pounds of the nugs of the flour, and he sold it on the street as Delta 9 as the real stuff. Nobody knew.
Huh.
You can rest assured, Oscar's gonna go to Catholics R Us tomorrow to go buy his priest outfit and
start throwing weed.
He's already the wheels are turning right now.
Bless these plants.
So what do they do? What do they do if they catch you with like a joint in Pittsburgh? You get thrown in jail or what?
No. It has to be. I think it has to be over an ounce or something. It's one of those Pittsburgh's a real weird place, bro. Because like the mafia ran this place for so long that like we have weird.
My nephew.
We have real weird rules. Like
code for boyfriend.
If they caught you with less than an ounce, they wouldn't care about it at all. And then like, there's just real. Like when I first got to Pittsburgh, there was poker machines in the hoagie shops that belonged to the mafia, and nobody thought it was weird but me. Like nobody thought it was weird. I was like, who collects that money? It was like the mafia. I'm like, you don't think that's where the mafia comes into your hoagie shop every week? No. But yeah, so like weed and stuff like that, like cops kind of don't care about that type of thing. I don't know. It's a weird place. But all that being said, man, Delta 8, yeah, you make a lot of money on it. HHC, all that stuff. And I'm glad that it's legal. But I will say this. This has been a very enjoyable night for me, gentlemen. Can you all say the same or no?
Man, I can't believe it's been 2.5 hours we've been on the air.
I'm like, oh, shoot.
Oscar,
you home yet?
At the beginning of the conversation, Oscar was in Gorman. Right now, he's in Tijuana.
No, I was in Redlands. Right now I'm in Santa Clarita. So it took me like 2 hours to get here.
Real? Oh man, still in just Santa Clarita.
That's why he wanted to stay on the air. He was using us so he won't fall asleep.
That's probably it.
Yeah. No, but it was fun seeing you guys, dude. And we should get together. Yes. I don't know. We'll do Rocket Wings. Let's try to put something together.
Drewski, we'll get Eric. Yeah, Robert, Caesar, all those dudes. Yeah, we'll get everybody.
No.
That'd be a lot of fun.
You got to get the morning show guys and the night show guys, and Paco the referee.
All right.
Paco, are you still in Bakersfield, or where are you at?
Yeah, I'm here in Bakersfield. Yeah.
Then we should get together, dude. Like fucking, we all live here.
We gotta do it, dude. We gotta do it. Rockin' Wings,
Let's do it this Sunday, dude. Let's do it this Sunday.
We'll have
football's on. We'll watch the game the Raiders and Rams already played, so.
Hey, Rams won, by the way, 17-16.
I know, I just saw that.
Think about this, dude. Mickey owns a really cool restaurant. I'm sure you get the best table in the house. I'm sure you get the freshest food. I'm sure you can get stuff off the menu. I'm sure you can get stuff off the menu.
Check this idea out. Next time you come over here, Mike, how about you do the Chino Brothers from Rockin' Wings with all of them, all the characters in one place? That'd be something right there.
It'd be fun.
That would be dope.
And we could charge to get in, dude. And we could split it.
There you go.
If Mike and I can get where people are paying to see the Chino Brothers, we'll do it at the Rockin' Wings for sure.
Dude, for a second, I thought we were already off the air. Like for like the past 2 minutes, I thought we were off the air. That's how good this Delta 8 I've been smoking.
That's what I was gonna say. That Delta 8, dude, you gotta be puffing and puffing on that thing.
Right now, I was like, oh wait, we are still on. Oh my gosh, dude!
Because I was making plans with you guys. I was like, you know what? What we, so.
Yeah, I mean, how much is a flight from Pittsburgh to LA or Bakersfield, dude? Like $300?
It used to be cheap, but like recently there's been so much inflation because of your favorite President Biden, who I know you voted for. Oscar.
He won Kern County, I'm sure.
That's your best
friend.
He made all this inflation, dude.
Every deal I sell, I have to give him a piece.
Yeah. You gotta give him a taste. He's
let's have a Chino Brothers fundraiser.
I got to put 3 more panels for every deal to pay him and stuff, dude. So I could come up even.
I'll say this: this is the weird thing about social media is you start growing your audience faster, and as it starts growing faster, you're like, wow, maybe if I would have put out more videos, it would have grown even faster. But you don't realize it's like, oh no, our editing looks way better now, and our internet's crisper and our microphones are better and our guests are cooler and just so much more goes into it,
Yeah, your studio looks a lot better too from your first videos, your background and everything. No, for real, it looks good,
thank you, dude. I was working off a tablet at first, dude.
Yeah, I know.
It was way better. Shout out to Tiny Box Vape Shop.
Yeah, but Dile has that radio face, so I don't know, man.
Here's the what?
He has that radio face,
You can't even see you can see the Play 103.9 hat, but there's the Hot 98.3 on the other side.
Dude,
wow. Who's that guy in the back? Who's that picture? The guy in the back is that
Jay-Z.
DMX? Who's that?
Jay-Z.
No,
Jay-Z.
Oh, Jay-Z? Oh, okay.
Mickey, when Adlai got to your town, was he still young enough to look like Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, he was
He did, dude. He kind of did look like Keanu Reeves.
He had the mullet.
Did he get all the girls when he came to your town? Did all the pretty girls go after Adlai?
Yeah, at first until
slow down a little bit
until they saw him pull up in that creepy van.
Come on, get in.
His car broke down, so he had to borrow his van from his uncle. And I'm not lying.
Yeah, he had like a Dodge, bro.
It looked like one of those 1970s where you abduct somebody.
Was it that red van? Was it that red van?
No, it was after the red van.
He had a red Dodge. He had a Dodge conversion van, bro.
It was
with the ladder on the back and all that stuff. Dude.
It was comfort though, bro. It was comfort.
And it had the carpet and everything in it. The back.
The box in the middle, it had oil, it had brake fluid, it had like jumper cables.
Though, dude.
Yeah. Whenever I see him, I was gonna call the cops on him. He's a little too much around the station. Who's a weirdo?
Mickey was the first one to get in.
You're afraid you're gonna be on the milk carton the next day.
Mickey's all like,
gonna be a milk carton.
Yeah,
that's all. They were trying to get the listeners to come on in the back of the van to get their sticker.
The bumper sticker said "Ask gas or cash," and Mickey's all,
he wanted to put the sticker on their bumper.
Mickey's like, I don't need gas or I like money, so.
You always saw the back of the windows all fogged up. With delays handprints.
The carpet all like sticky and like an old theater and shit, you know.
How do you know?
He told me. Mickey told me.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh my gosh, the vid. He was great.
You guys are crazy, bro.
Remember the other DJs where the guy was in the driver's seat, the other guy was in the back seat?
The other DJs.
Well, I don't know if we should say their names or not. I don't know, but
what are the DJs? What are you talking about?
Oscar will say people's names, dude. Oscar will say people's
bro.
names.
Like, why you bring them up if you don't say the name?
Because you should know. Because there's one guy in the front and the other guy had to sit in the back because the front was all messed up. The front seat was broken and messed up.
I don't remember, bro.
We'll tell you off the air. I don't want to.
It must have been a fat person, Oscar. It must have been a fat person.
Who was it, bro?
Who was it?
Oh,
yeah, just say it. Like, what? Say like how he looks. Like, is it like?
Is it chubby dude and a skinny dude?
Oh.
Paco's bailing, dude.
Is that the guys that let go?
Huh?
Was it the night shift guys?
The guys that let go?
Everybody got let go eventually.
Was it the guy that you borrowed the towel and it was as hard as a rock?
The guy, the a lot guy, or the a lot guy. Is that?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's not really that bad, but yeah, it is pretty funny. He let me crash at the pad when I was out from Tucson. I was coming through for a day, but Mucho, because we worked together with Mucho at Hot 98.3, and he's a dude, and I like those guys.
Mucho
so
Morales.
Know what I mean? Not Mucho Morales. What was his Paco? It was Mucho
Gomez.
Martinez?
Yeah.
The bad guy. Dude, he was good on the air, by the way.
He sounded real good on the air. He sounded real good on the air. I thought he did, but that's my opinion.
He was good, but he let me crash in his place. And then I was like taking a shower and I look and I'm all like, dude, there's no towels or anything, dude. Where's your towel cabinet or whatever? Where'd I get a towel? He's like, grab one off the floor. And it was all I dried off with toilet paper that day. I just was not gonna use some towel.
Hey, Delay said that the towel was like sandpaper. It was that
dude, I kicked it and hurt my toe, dude. That's how bad it was, dude. It was like,
bro, why did you not notice there wasn't a towel prior to taking a shower?
I didn't think about it. You just assume like, oh, there's two dudes living together in an apartment. There's got to be a stack of clean towels.
What were you guys doing? What were you guys doing that you need to take a shower?
Well, I crashed there for a couple days.
Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah.
Paco let me crash at his place, but I think by that point you and Vanessa were getting serious, I think. So yeah, Paco always had clean towels. That's probably why.
Right.
That's probably why I never thought about it.
Shout
out to Mucho.
Did Paco have good food at his house when you
Paco's place was pimp.
Really?
Yes. When I came out I was like, man, this is nice, dude. I still drive by there every once in a while. Like I know where it's at. It was off of Bell Terrace and Newstein. Yeah. So
yeah.
Bell Terrace and Newstein.
Yeah, this place was nice, dude. But yeah, Mucho, he's like, grab one off the floor.
Grab one off the floor. Dude, what am I, a freaking Philistine?
Damn, bro, you use this towel? Oh my god.
No, I dried off with toilet paper, dude. I just dabbed with toilet paper, man. I just took like little pieces and just kind of like dried up like this.
Dude, I would have just wiped myself off with my shirt, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like you're in Bakersfield. You know what I mean? It's 190 degrees outside. You dry up
hot
with
as
your
heck,
shirt.
yeah.
Was there even soap in there, dude? There was like legit soap, or was it like a little ass piece?
I don't even remember, dude. I don't remember.
Probably mold. It's probably mold on the
walls. Short curlies on it.
Yeah, dude. That's what I was thinking about with the soap, bro. having the nut hairs on it, dude.
Oh,
just like, dude, there's just like 3 strands. You can't do nothing about it, dude. You're looking at that bar of soap, three hairs just popping up like that, dude. What are you gonna
bar
do?
soap. Oof, that's rough, dude.
What did you do, dude?
I can't remember. It was so long ago, but I remember I was like kind of like it was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty nasty. But dude, he let me crash there, and it was free, dude. So, you know, and he had cable, so it was good. And he actually had it was an all right spot. It was right across from BHS, from Bakersfield High School.
Pac, why were you bringing Adlai out there and not just moving him out there, just having him stay? Why was he going out there?
Did you go visit us, or
We were doing the club. We
before
were
you got
doing La
hired?
Movida.
Oh yeah.
We were doing La
Okay,
Movida, and I was kind of coming out to help with that, promote that, and do that and stuff. And we tried to get Trillville. Remember, we had one artist, one group, they had a band, and they ended up flaking out on us and stuff. But then they robbed the cash drawer. So yeah, but here's a story from that night. We actually finally made some money, and then someone robbed the cash drawer. And so we didn't. And then the girl came up. I can't remember her name, but she came up crying. She's like, "Oh my gosh, they stole the cash drawer." And I'm all, "What about your tip cup?" And then she's all, and she ran over, and the tip cup was gone too. And she came in there just like that, dude. I was like, "Oh."
Was this La Movida?
Yeah, I just done a drop too. I pocketed a few something. I don't know how much at this point, but
And Dylan's like, no, I didn't do a pickup. I don't know. It's all in there.
They stole all 18 grand. It was probably $500, maybe at the most, but still. But it hurt. And I was like,
Dude, no one wants to get robbed. That sucks.
Yeah, it was sad, dude. It was really sad. We had security too. That was a really sad part. It didn't work.
All right, man. Well, we better close up this episode.
Yeah.
We've been talking forever.
My goodness.
You guys,
I just
thank
saw
you
Paco's
so
comment.
much,
All
man.
right, thank you guys for having us.
What was Paco's comment?
Vernatica.
Oh yeah,
That's
guys-
another time.
oh there was this bartender who worked at this nightclub that we worked at. Her name was Veronica, and this girl looked like Selma Hayek's better looking sister in Selma Hayek's prime. That's how pretty this girl was. This girl was so like. Do you agree with me, Paco?
Yes, sir.
She was like, she looked like Selma Hayek if Selma Hayek was in a Disney movie. Like, she had a real pretty face with, like, you know, gleam in her eye and just real pretty. And she had a thing for Adlai, man. She loved Adlai.
All the girls loved Adlai.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
What happened with Adlai? Was he scared or what?
I know.
She had like 5 different baby daddies, dude. Like legitimate.
Those,
yeah, legitimate. Veronica, she had like 5 different baby daddies. That's how come I didn't work with you guys. Like, he was like, dude, it sucked too, because it was like probably like 2 months. Paco first started the club with us, and then he drifted off. That was his trick. He'd start a club night, right? And you'd go, because he'd make us all go, and you'd be feeling it, and he'd be like, "Hey man, you like this club?" Yeah. All right, cool, because I don't want to do it no more. So this is your night now. Okay, all right then. And then he'd drift off. But like, from our first night there, and that club was hot, bro. Like, that club had a line, good looking girls. And me and Pac, we seen this bartender. Man, that is a real pretty girl. But Adlai was DJ. He was behind the turntable, so he didn't meet her. So we knew her name was Veronica. So we started calling her Vernatica, all this stuff, you know, because she's naughty, all this. Yeah. But then finally, Adlai got to go out with her. We're like high school boys, bro, like, about this girl.
Yeah.
So finally, Adlai gets to go out with her, and all of us are like, "Oh, word, man, we want to hear about it." You know, like living by like Ferris Bueller's telling us a story, you know. So he's telling us about her. Oh, wow. And then he tells us, yeah, she has like 5 different baby daddies, and we're like, oh. We're all trying to do the math. Like, is that too many? I don't know if
That's too many.
Well, like, are any of them in jail? Yeah, a couple of them in jail. Oh, you know, like, yeah, like our hopes started like fading. All our hopes started fading because, like, in our pretend world, she's just a smoking hot bartender who's super friendly, who loves our friend. And we're like, yeah, man, great for Adlai. Dude, by the time reality kicked in, we were like, oh, man.
We started high-fiving everybody, but then, man.
Yes, it was sad.
All 5
dude.
baby daddies getting high-fived.
Yeah. But she,
all right,
dude,
man.
She made bomb drinks, though, and she gave me an Adlai free bomb drinks.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we got to go.
Where we going?
Thanks, guys.
We're going off the air. Thank
I'm
you
gonna hit you guys
so
up for a
much,
Bakersfield
man.
meetup, though, too.
We definitely.
Let's do it.
Hey, thank you
Let's
so
do it.
much. Seriously, I had a great time. Everybody have a good time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Great time, brother.
Good.
All right, talk to you guys later. Bang.
Bye, guys.
And